resurrect those bridges with ancient bells. But my own stone face can't seem to break her down. She remembers the bridges and burns them to the ground. I have become cumbersome to this world. I have become cumbersome to my girl. Too heavy, too light, too black, too white, too wrong, or too right. Tell tonight, cumbersome. Too rich and too poor, she's wanting me less, I'm wanting her more. The better taste is cumbersome. Oh, you can't hold on. Oh, no, no. Oh, you can't. There is a balance between two worlds, one with an arrow and a cross. The darkness of the balance, life is become cumbersome. Too heavy, too light, too black, too white, too wrong, or too right. Here tonight, cumbersome. Too rich or too poor, she's wanting me less, I'm wanting her more. The better taste is cumbersome.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
And we can officially say, live on this Friday after Thursday night of week one in college football, the landmine is back. Did our boys of Corn outplay Minnesota on their field in PJ Fleck's 7th year in his program, in Matt Rule's 7th day, basically, of his program? Nebraska outplayed them in just some untimely, uncalled for
I will
mistakes.
tell you, man, that was disgusting football.
Oh, it was awful.
I actually enjoyed it.
I did not.
I enjoyed the
did
heck
not.
out of it.
Zero quarterback play. Neither one of those teams any good at quarterback.
If you get what looked like not even practice squad NFL players, those guys, both Jeff Sims, and look, he can run the football. He was great. They adjusted in the second half, and then he tried to make plays with his arm, which is not going to happen on a consistent basis. And then whoever the Greek kid was, Athen.
Yeah, but
he ain't good.
He ain't good.
Now, he threw one touchdown pass. It turned out to be a pretty big play.
Well, the toe tap on the side was absolutely incredible from Daniel Jackson.
But that is not a good quarterback. Minnesota will lose a bunch of games, and unfortunately so will Nebraska.
Dude, 133 FBS teams. Not everything's going to be Ohio State, Georgia semifinal games. We got to learn to not criticize everything. Enjoy the struggle, the rebuild of Nebraska. The fact that they went in there last night
doesn't make them a good team.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying are they going to contend for the playoffs. I'm talking about one game last night, Nebraska and Minnesota. I thought it was great theater, and Minnesota had the place sold out. A little vibe in there. You had Gus on a great call, Gus Johnson on the call where they dribble the flea flicker play for Nebraska's touchdown.
Osborne.
Nebraska's only touchdown.
They call it Osborne.
They called the play Osborne. He says, Nebraska makes chicken salad. What a great call. How can you not embrace the greatness of that game?
The excitement that he showed at the end when Minnesota kicks a 47-yard field goal.
Yeah.
And I was just worn out from watching a bad football game.
Yeah.
I can't do this all year.
But
I
Jim,
can't
you
do this
can't
all
pre-
year.
Jim,
No, I'm
listen,
just
It was
saying.
a great ending to a great game.
No, it was
That
not
was
a great
It was an
game.
awful game. Awful game.
Jim,
I want a steak. It was an awful game.
overused the word great is your problem.
You guys don't enjoy life enough.
I
This
do
was great
enjoy
football.
live, Jim.
He's
I watched
a
every minute of
100.
it. I'm just saying.
Not when it comes to football. It was an
confu-
outstanding game.
That was not an outstanding game. You confused close for outstanding.
It was a outstanding game. It was not great offensive
Okay.
football.
All right.
It was not
All right.
anybody's
Here we go.
Aesthetically, that was a D- game.
Yeah, all right. Little T, put it out there in a Bud Light poll question. Was Nebraska, Minnesota an outstanding game? Yes or no?
Blake is right.
Outstanding
He sums it up best in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. Great ending to a bad game.
Yeah, it was a great ending to a bad game.
I mean, the drama that is built in.
And I agree with Brody. Utah, Florida was just as bad.
Oh, no, Utah, Florida was worse.
Didn't turn the sound up one time on that one.
Really?
Yeah, didn't turn the sound up one time.
You know who was on the
that
call,
one.
right?
I do. It was Fowler and Herbstreit. God bless them. They have to earn a paycheck too sometimes. They don't always get the best games in the world. That wasn't one of them. Good atmosphere.
Utah is good. We'll get to that.
Oh, Utah's really good.
Yeah.
They didn't have two of their starting defensive linemen. They didn't have their starting tight end or their starting quarterback, and they were physical as hell with Florida. I mean, Utah looked like an SEC team, and Florida did not last night. And the question becomes, Vandy, Florida, neutral site, who do you take? I think I may take Vandy.
I'd tap your
just
brakes
saying,
on that one.
it's-
Vandy had 40 rush yards against Hawaii.
Here's the problem with that. And I know we're jumping all over the place. Is if you're Billy Napier, Graham Mertz can't throw the ball that many times. You got to be able to run the football. And I was talking about this yesterday. Montrell Johnson and Trevor Etienne went for like 268 against his team last year, where they had 39 missed tackles. They couldn't run the football.
31
they
yards.
completely tapped out.
31 yards for that duo on 10 carries.
I mean, it was an embarrassingly poorly coached game by Florida.
It
Billy
was.
Napier, I thought Billy Napier was going to succeed there. I had always been told.
Yeah, I'm going to say it now. He gets fired at the end of the year.
I had always been told.
Is that knee jerk?
a little bit? Yes.
I mean,
yes. When one came in.
I'd rather you say that than not enjoy a good 13-10
Jim,
game.
no. I
But
enjoyed the game.
31.9 million.
No, you're not going to put words in my mouth. I enjoyed the game.
Well, it
you
didn't
wanna
sound like it.
Well, Jim, I said it's not a great game. You want to sit over there because you like Matt Rule. I love Matt Rule too. Matt's got a build. That doesn't mean it's a great
No,
game.
it was a great game because I had something on it.
Okay.
Right? I lost it and enjoyed the heck out of it because it got my blood going, man. I got to sit there and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I had a stake on it. It was even.
You
right?
live an Instagram life. You want everything to be an Instagram photo.
No.
And-
You're the
and-
one that
and
says you're 100
I
all
am.
the time. I
and
said
I
back
can
last
look at a
night,
game and say those are two crappy teams. It's not a great game. It's a close game. I enjoyed it. I watched every second of it.
Start off by telling me you enjoyed it instead of what a bad football
Well,
it
don't
was.
tell me how to do the show, Jim.
Yeah, okay. I won't. I will talk to you.
Okay.
I lost
No,
the stake on this one.
no.
Well, somebody was asking you and I in the chat room what we consider a good game.
Georgia, Ohio State.
Well, I just like aesthetically some fluid.
Yeah.
I like some offense. I like some defense, but I don't like what we saw
No,
last
I don't
night
like
in the
two
Big Ten.
bad quarterbacks turning it over a lot. It's just crappy football.
Those don't look like bowl teams to me.
No.
And they may not be, but for when they're playing each other for 60 minutes, and you always say this, you're always involved if you got something on the game, right? It's
Right.
why people watch it on
I'm kicking
television.
myself in the ass. You guys are talking Utah up all
You
week.
did, Lance.
I bailed last minute yesterday.
Why
If
do
I'd have
you-
put
why
the
do you-
plays out, and instead of Utah, I put out Minnesota.
I've never seen
I know.
you
Overthought it.
change by something that is said on the show or what people are saying, unless everybody's on one thing. You go exactly the
But we had a
opposite.
5-unit play on Central Florida. Easy winner.
Oh,
that was a
and
blowout.
John Rice Plumlee turns football over way too many times.
Yeah, I don't think they're very good
Should
either.
have won that game by 70.
but they were playing Kent. Those kind of things don't interest me as much as when you have two.
Well, I had
football
something on
teams.
it. So.
Yeah. So I had something. That's what I'm saying. I had something on the Nebraska game. I was all in because I wanted to win a stake. But it's not about the stakes. You're up. I'm up 7 now, but it wasn't about the stake. It was about, okay, so you got Minnesota who's trying to rebuild there. Nebraska who's trying to rebuild. Minnesota who, I'll say it. I'm not a big PJ guy. I just don't. I don't. For
Yeah,
some
he's
reason,
hard to like, isn't he?
Some reason it doesn't connect with me. You had a great broadcast team. The sun was hitting right. Football was back. Had a nice little bourbon going. I mean, it was just a good feel to have, not a blowout, Power 5 versus a nobody school on a Thursday night. And you had 2 really good games on paper on. And then Utah's just, you watch that. I think Florida had 8 yards in the second quarter as an SEC team playing on the road. So I couldn't even watch that. As an SEC guy, I couldn't even watch that because I was so, I don't want to use the word embarrassed because I use all words wrong as Bobby's right. I just don't know my vocabulary the right way. But I couldn't watch it because it was an SEC program getting out physical by a Pac-12 team. I mean, Utah looked more SEC than Florida did.
Embarrassed is the right word. Feel free to use that one. I thought it was embarrassing.
I hate
for
to
Florida.
be embarrassed of anybody in our league.
No, you should be. Florida was embarrassing last night.
So Unlocked with Brock Heward that I do once a week. I brought this up with him. Utah has won back-to-back Pac-12 championships playing like an SEC team. They've done it with defense. Utah looked like the SEC team last night.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
I've said that twice now in this opening statement. They were running over the field. They were more physical. They looked bigger in a lot of places.
Well-coached.
Well
They were
coached, and
well-coached.
Florida is not.
I
And,
mean, you tell me tonight.
Right.
If you're in Bibb County, Alabama, or if you're in Beaufort, Georgia, or if you're in Metairie, Louisiana, at a high school football game, and your team rolls out there 2 number 3s on the field on a punt or a kick or anything on the field at the same time, somebody's getting their ass chewed out in high school football.
I think most high school coaches wouldn't make that mistake, Jim.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
with you.
We have enough money in the SEC that don't even put yourself in that situation. I don't care if Jimmy Joe wants to be number 3, but if there is a chance that you're going to be on the field with my boy that doesn't like to wear long pants and wear knee pads, or whoever number 3 is, we can't have 2 number 3s. And Jimmy Joe, I'm sorry, but you're not good enough to be the number 3.
Well, I mean, a couple things on that play. Number one, I don't know who's coaching their special teams. You got the kid that's out there that looks like he cares more about how he looks than how he plays, that Pearsall kid. Most annoying player in the SEC right now. I don't even know anything about him, but wearing those pants pulled up above his knees and his shirt untucked. I mean, he looks like he's out there at a fashion
he was
show.
getting on Graham Mertz's ass, too.
Well, hey, maybe pull your pants down and run the right route. You little punk. But he's back there, fair catch of the ball on the 3 over his shoulder. And then you got 2 number 3s on the field, and that led to a touchdown for Utah, Jim. You had them off the field. And now you were going to get crap field position because knee pads out there is catching it on the 3.
Willie Mazing
it on the 3. And
hell of a catch, though.
Man, it was good. You're right. It was a good catch.
You just shouldn't do it on the 3-yard line when you're fielding a punt.
But you got 2 3s on the field. That's just coaching. That goes straight to Billy Napier, right to Billy Napier.
And when they finally score a touchdown, they go for 2.
Yeah.
Why?
You wanted to cut it to, what was that? 34-11 or whatever it was.
Well, you kick the point and it's 14.
Yeah.
Now, look, all these new age people,
Throw your chart away.
All these new age people say you go for it there because 2-point conversions are a 50-50 proposition. So if you go for that one and make it, now you're only down 13, as somebody told me on Twitter, 2 more scores, and all you got to do is kick the points to win the game. And I'm like, well, you have not watched this whole game if you think that is ever going to come factor in here.
Could you guys not sit on the sideline?
Florida may not score 2 more touchdowns in the next 2 weeks.
Like, I will be an assistant. I'll sit there in a chair with beer, and then they can, turn back and say, should I 2 or 1? And I would have been like, 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it cuts it to 14.
Very simple.
Yeah. But that's the thought. That's what they're saying, right?
Yeah,
is that you go for 2 there, and then if you don't get it, you go for 2 on the next one.
That's right.
And if you don't get that, you go for 2 on the last one. Odds are you're gonna make one of those. But if you make the first one, now it's in your favor. Now you're only down 13. So extra point, you win the game.
If I'm a Utah fan, though, I look back and I'm like, how in the hell did we lose to this team last year? And all we had to do was beat this team, and we're in a college football playoff.
Yep. Road games matter in college football more. Roman Harper said that yesterday. Road games matter more in college football than it does in other sports. And, you had Anthony Richardson, who made some plays last year. Graham Mertz had 333 yards, but I didn't see it. I don't know where. It could be a typo. It could be 233.
He threw the ball 44 times.
I know.
Has anybody, even in the Spurrier days, did anybody throw the ball 44 times?
Could be 133.
Hey, Dunaway.
But if I told you guys Graham Mertz passed for 333 yards,
I would have thought they won the game going away.
You guys have been like, Florida scored by how many? Won by how many?
I mean, I'm telling you, the game plan they had right there could win Jim a steak if Alabama has the same game plan.
Oh, well.
I never thought Florida would throw it that much.
One of our NIL guys, I know we'll get to UAB in a minute.
Yeah.
But he put up the number.
I know he did.
Let's get to UAB and everything else that went on last night. Instant reaction. On the show, Furman from Vegas at 10 Central today. Rockstar's Playhouse at 11 Central. That starts hour 2 and hour 3 coming up in the show as we react to last night's game. You will hear from Billy Napier and jump into everything else going on. Woodhouse Day Spa starts us off today. Tell us about Woodhouse.
Yeah, look, I made the suggestion yesterday. You're going to be on the couch all day long. I plan on getting on the couch around 11 o'clock. And what is our latest game? Coastal Carolina, UCLA, I'll be up at least till 1 in the morning watching football. It'll be at least a 13-hour day. We've got 2 shows we'll be doing right here on the next round. We'll be kicking football off at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We'll be recapping everything tomorrow night. If you're going to be watching us, watching games, the one thing you can do for the wife or girlfriend is get them a gift card from the Woodhouse Day Spa. Voted America's best day spa since 2009. They've got over 70 options conveniently located at the Summit Shopping Centers. They've got massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, you can order online 24/7, birmingham.woodhousespas.com, or just drop by, go see Stuart Casey, and tell them the next round sent you.
We may get to it later on, but the ACC is officially expanding. They voted on it today over breakfast, apparently. So Stanford and Cal's coming to the ACC at 30% of the media revenue. SMU's coming in taking none. Those numbers for 7 years. That's an official deal. There were 3 schools that voted against it: Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina. Keep your eye on Clemson, Florida State, and North Carolina. See if they want to take their ball and go to another conference, because that's how the ACC falls apart right there. But that is happening. It's official today. Rockstar, give me Billy Napier. Here's cut number 6. Reaction last night. People are already looking at buyout numbers for Billy Napier. $31.9 million if you fire him this year. You can fire him today. You can fire him at the end of the year. It's going to be $31.9 million.
Hefty.
I take it back.
Yeah.
I think that would become the highest payout to date.
It would maybe so, yeah.
I think that passes any Auburn has done.
Yeah, I don't know what the exact number is, Jim, but that would that one's got to be in the park. $31.9 million is a lot to pay somebody not to coach football.
$31.9 million, and probably at that point, Scott Strickland's the guy that doesn't get to hire the next guy.
Yeah, he's probably getting paid out too, whatever his buyout is.
So you probably decide somewhere over the next few weeks to let this guy sort of try to build him into next year, because Billy Napier has a plan. It did not look good last night. Here's the coach of the Gators.
Well, adversity presents a choice, right? You can choose character or you can choose to compromise. And I think one thing I know about this group is I think we've worked hard on building some intangibles, and already I can see that this group will respond the right way. I believe that. And, I sat in the press conference last year after we beat Utah and said, hey, we got a lot of stuff that we've got to work on. And I feel the same way sitting here today. This game, you got to handle the ups and the downs. You got to remain consistent in your approach, and I think our team will respond the right way. I'm confident in that.
I think it's McNeese.
It is,
next.
and then Tennessee.
Then Tennessee. Oof. So 1 week to feel like you're moving forward, and then right
Tennessee.
back in the old spin cycle.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm with you. I think you took it a step too far on Vandy. I don't think I'd go that far, but not. And obviously, I haven't seen anybody else in the East play just yet. But if I had to do an East power ranking, they'd only be in front of Vandy right now.
Yeah, I think I would take Missouri. I watched a little bit of that game.
Yeah, I mean, I did
Burton's
too.
Really good.
Yeah, it's hard to tell though. I mean, that was an overmatched South Dakota.
It is. Where is that game this year? If it's in Columbia, I feel pretty good. Missouri wins the game.
It is at Missouri. Between road trips to LSU, or road trip to LSU and a home game against Florida State, they go to Missouri.
Okay. UAB last night starts Trent Dilfer. Hey, hats off to SVP and the folks at ESPN.
I saw that, man. That was crazy.
You get Trent Dilfer saying better treatment than you got, PJ or Matt Rule. All you had was a podium soundbite with Matt Rule and PJ and what went on in that big game up there. I never saw any sound from Florida in that, but you had a hookup between Trent and SVP. They used to work together, but that's national exposure for UAB. Crowd of over 20,000, a little over 25,000, I think, for UAB's opener against a lesser opponent in North Carolina A&T. But the guy Brownie talks to every week on our NIL showed up at quarterback. It makes me wonder why he went on the field the last couple of years.
Well, he was for a little bit with Baylor, and Jacob Zeno is a player. And, I mean, say what you want, it's North Carolina A&T, but 38 of 41, if you're doing that against air, that's pretty damn good.
That's right. We could go in the parking lot.
I'm surprised he slung it around, but look, that's an exciting brand of football because you know what you got in Skull Brown. Look, he only had 6 carries last night, but he made the most of those 6 carries. But Jacob Zeno was slinging it all over the place.
13 different receivers.
Yeah.
So they spread it around a little bit too. I mean, you checked a lot of offensive boxes against an inferior team. You'll learn more about this team.
Yeah, they had 163 yards.
Over the next couple of weeks. But all the feel goods that you want for your first college win if you're Trent Dilfer.
I was blown away. Well, first of all, that Zeno played the entire game too. You didn't give another guy a single throw.
Was very surprising.
Yeah, I mean, I think that tells you that Trent Dilfer's trying to get this team in some sort of game rhythm, right? That, he realizes practice may have gone well, but if they're going to run my offense and Alex Mortenson's offense in a game, we got to find some game rhythm. So that tells me that's what Trent Dilfer was looking for last night. He wasn't worried about getting other guys snaps. He wants to make sure Jacob Zeno's as comfortable as he can be in this offense. And boy, he looked it.
Yeah, hey, the Aggies had their quarterback, by the way, 2 of 8 for all of 16 yards. One of the worst quarterback names of all time, Eli Brickhandler.
Oh, wow.
What if he's a point guard?
Yeah, what if he's a receiver?
But, I mean, they only threw it 8 times, and they got destroyed. I mean, not a good team again. But if I'm a Blazer fan, I'm excited about the future. I mean, you've got what seems to be, again, this guy started games at Baylor. He's played in a Big 12 championship game. You've got what seems to be a really good quarterback.
Yeah, you do.
What's the guy's name again?
Brickhandler. Eli Brickhandler.
Worst name, point guard, quarterback, receiver, or porn star?
Well, take out the B and the R.
Wow.
Wow, Rocky, yes. Hey, Trent Dilfer last night on the podium before he went on national TV, talked to the local media about this win and the emotions of being now a former Super Bowl champion, then a successful high school coach who thinks now, hey, I think my system will work on a higher level. So he takes that step, and it worked last night.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the coaches and kids. Everybody keeps asking me about my emotions, and my emotions were about them. A lot goes into college football. I haven't been surprised by any of it, but the investment these people make is pretty significant, and you feel very connected to their success. So I'm really happy to see them have success, have them play at a high level in the first game. Do a lot of the things that we've talked about doing that it takes to play great football. So is there a lot of room for improvement? Absolutely. I mean, we got so many things we got to get better at, but just super, super happy for them.
A lot of things to get better at, and he said that on national TV too, not just to the local folks there. It wasn't all gumdrops and sundaes or whatever the old saying is, gumdrops and ice cream.
Unicorns and rainbows?
He's a confident guy, which I want my head coach to be confident. He's saying all the right things. Is the talent there? That is yet to be decided. Jumping to the American, it's going to be a really difficult year, but I think they beat somebody they shouldn't beat. Again, it's North Carolina A&T. It's easy to say right now, but if you've got a quarterback like Jacob Zeno, and he can play with a lot of confidence, he gets hot.
But all summer, you didn't think this was a bowl team.
I don't think
I
they're
still
a bowl
don't.
team.
Don't.
No.
Okay.
I think they're a 4-8 team. I'm just saying that there's going to be one of these Saturdays where they pull an upset.
Like they're at Georgia Southern next week. I mean, it's calculus 2 now. I mean, this was a beginner's math.
Wow, all the way to calculus 2 for Georgia Southern.
I don't know. What does that make Alabama and Georgia?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're going to calculus 2 on that one. That's a big jump for me. I never made it that high.
I need to put 2 things in reverse. I should not have called Pierce All a punk. He needs to pull his pants down and quit worrying about how he looks, but I shouldn't have called him a punk, and I shouldn't have said that was calculus 2. That's more like algebra.
Did you say anything about PJ Fleck's wife being in the huddle
I
celebrating
did not.
last night?
But no, it's like going from beginner's math to algebra. They'll get to calculus at some point, but they're going to algebra next week.
Okay, that's my.
Is that better?
That's my college trajectory there.
Right,
that's what
algebra.
I did.
Oh, they're going to that rocket math when they play in Athens.
Oh yeah, my God, that's calculus too.
Yeah, that's that thing on the board at Goodwill Hunting that nobody can figure out.
That's exactly right. Somebody called Matt Damon. All right, other results. We'll talk about Nick Saban, what he said last night on Hey Coach. Tyler Watts in the first talk of champions. He's been to practices and scrimmages that a lot of us don't get to go to. He does a really good breakdown on Alabama's personnel before this first game. You can get that on the Disrupt the Media YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcast, audio, and video platforms. It's up everywhere there. And guess what's back today? I'll tell you after Brownie tells us about Johnston RV Center.
You can go see America at Johnston RV Center, Jimmy D. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online at johnstonrvcenter.com. Cherokee is the number one selling RV brand in the country. And you might ask, well, what about the state of Alabama? That's where I live. It's Cherokee. And then you would say, well, if it's Cherokee in the U.S. and in Alabama, where do I get a Cherokee? Well, the number one selling dealer in Alabama, Johnston RV Center. Travel trailers like the Cherokee Gray Wolf, the Alpha Wolf, the Cherokee Arctic Wolf, toy haulers like the Wolf Pack. They got all those. The payments starting as low as $199 a month. That is $199 a month. You heard me right. And listen, if you've ever served in the military, whether you're active duty or retired military, I hope you know how much we appreciate you on this show, making America the greatest nation in the universe, no debate. They appreciate you, too, at Johnston RV Center. They give you great discounts there just to thank you for your service, a little small token of appreciation from them. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, johnstonrvcenter.com.
It's back today. We have a website we don't talk a lot about here, but it's always there for you. It's a good place to go to get links and information. It's where the Next Round store is as well. And it's also on Football Fridays. And usually you start this on Thursdays. But Football Fridays, you can go there and get this little thing called the Pick 3. Rockstar, what does the Pick 3 sound like?
It sounds like this, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Pick three, it's time for the pick three. 3 for you and 3 for me, that equals a pick 3. Say goodbye to your family,
Bye,
it's
family.
time for the pick 3. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick 3.
Yeah! Pick 3's back.
First year
John Dean.
First year we've never done this live, right?
What?
No, I'm talking about where we actually engage and talk about the games on the Pick 3. Or are we doing it right now?
We're going to take a commercial break, but then when we come back, we're going to talk about all the college football games
Okay.
coming up this weekend.
I asked you 2 days ago. I said, "Are we doing Pick 3 in show?" And you said, "No, we're doing it on the website."
No,
No, you told me that.
we're doing it just like we've done it the last 2 years.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. Jim, if
we
you could
talk
please
about
watch your words.
It's fine. I swear to God, I asked you,
Are you-
in break a couple of days ago.
It gets
are-
confusing at times.
This was on Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. I told you wrong is what I'll
Well, I'm
go with.
excited. I didn't know.
Well, to Jim's defense, he's got a lot going on in the breaks, so he could have stumbled through that. If Jim had said that, it would have felt like he was being passive-aggressive, but I'm going to back my boy up over there. He's got a lot going on in
All
the breaks.
good.
I'm just saying.
You
that
do. You got a lot going on in the breaks. You got to keep this thing between the stripes, Jimmy.
Pick 3 is back just like it's been the last 2 years, except much like New Coke in the early 80s?
Uh-huh.
People didn't like the pod system last year because Lunsford and I had a miscommunication last year. I didn't think he could set it up the way he has it set up on the website. But on the website now, you go and click on the big Pick 3 banner there. It'll take you there. You throw in your name and your email address. And then you have 3 drop downs. Am I explaining this right, Lunsford? Microphone, if I do this wrong at all. You have 3 drop downs. You hit that first drop down, and you can pick any of the games there, any of those. Hit that button and load it up for you at the bottom, and you pick those 3 games. And you got the choices down at the bottom right there. So it's real easy, drop-down boxes, right, Lunsford? I hit all that right?
Yes, you have 3 games. It's every Power 5 game that has a line. So if it's like FCS, it's not on there. But yes, every game is in there. Pick your 3, and hopefully you win.
Every Power 5 game that has a line is available to you.
Should be.
In any form or fashion. I mean, much better than some, maybe some cable options you have out there.
MyBookie.ag, they've got them all.
Yeah.
Yep.
So mybookie.ag, you can get the lines there. That's the lines we use. Whenever Lunsford builds it, you use the line from mybookie.ag and put it up there. So it's live now. It started live last night. In fact, Taylor Korn, the queen of social media content, has jumped into the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room and thrown a link for you guys there. Click the link if you're watching us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and just go jump over there and make your pick sometime before midnight tonight when that thing locks up. It's Pick 3 time. And amazingly, over the next few hours, we're going to talk about some of the games that are available for you live on the Pick 3. And we can pick ours later.
That's right.
On the show. Like we've done every year. We're going to have a dry race board later on, and we're going to pick our 3 games.
And if you've got Spectrum, it might be all you see of these games.
More on that.
Yeah, what a disaster.
And maybe an unknown quarterback who's on the Manning list and deserved it last night, and more college football as we roll on today. The show being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. The most respected roofing contractor in the college football world is Greg Nelson. Greg from Pell City. Look him up on Facebook. 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531 for a free no-cost roof inspection. Checks that roof out. No water leakage is going to save you money. He'll replace roofs if you need him to do that. He's trusted, great price point. He can give you an evaluation on your roof. He can fix storm damage. He can do it all. It is Greg Nelson, Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531, Storm Restoration Roofing.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Birmingham store. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have a perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Our job is to make sure your feet are happy. Visit the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Your feet will thank you.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got two great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons.
When the weather gets warm in the Deep South, there's nothing better than spending your days outside. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. When you're outside, there are a couple of things you want to be certain about. Number one, your yard looks the best it can. And number two, you're not always swatting away those mosquitoes. My friends at Wayne's take care of both those things for me. And Wayne's is celebrating their 50th year. So right now, get $50 off your pest, your termite, your lawn, and your mosquito services. Visit callwaynes.com or call 866-WAYNES-1.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali. We've partnered with Who Is Coffee to create the Next Round blend. Available in light, medium, and dark roast. 100% Arabica beans. Specialty coffee roasted on demand, available in whole bean or ground for drip pods. Espresso and coarse ground for French press. Go to nextround.store to get a link to pre-order today. Everyone that pre-orders will be entered to win a prize pack with coffees, shirts, hats, and tumblers. Nextround.store for the Next Round blend.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Our friends at Wayne's, for the past 50 years, Wayne's Pest Control have been serving our communities by doing things that they love. That's providing world-class pest control, world-class termite protection, and they love doing that for all of us that they care about there. I mean, I will tell you this, that I've been a Wayne's customer for years and years, and my family was a Wayne's customer. It's been going on a long time here in this part of the country. It continues to spread. The best in pest control and termite protection, celebrating 50 years. And they want to say thank you for your support over 50 years. Right now, if you visit callwaynes.com, you'll enjoy $50 off of pest control or termite protection. Just go to callwaynes.com, save $50 off pest or $50 off termite protection as we celebrate 50 years with our friends at Wayne's. One note locally here as well, Michael Hires of Sanford, the only FCS quarterback on the Manning watch list going into the year. Everyone else was FBS guys. They opened their season last night against Shorter, 69-14. Sanford wins it. Hires had 5 touchdowns. He was 28 of 35 for 375 yards. Preseason All-American. There, Michael Hires at Sanford.
Chris Hatcher knows how to coach quarterbacks and offense, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody that plays for that guy puts up numbers.
You mentioned UCF. Gus getting his first game as a Big 12 team. Pretty easy win over Kent, 56-6. Kent's head coach left to join Deion's coaching staff. So that program is, wherever it was, a little slide back. Last night. That was not an entertaining football game, but John Rice Plumlee.
It was if you were laying 35 and a half.
It was if you were laying 35 and a half. UCF looked easy, right?
Well, it did, but again, turnovers, man. John Rice Plumlee is good because he's such an athletic guy, but he forces the football a lot. Threw a couple of picks last night. He does that in Big 12 play. They're going to get beat.
in a game where they won by 1 billion points, you lost a little faith in them. It feels like
I did.
I mean, you had a middle of the pack anyway, right?
I
in
did.
The Big 12?
Yeah. I think they'll get 7 or 8 wins, possibly. Yeah.
Before we move forward to tonight and Saturday, 2 takeaways from last night. I am concerned about NC State. You were higher on them than I was.
That was not a good performance.
Nope. And I am really, really concerned for Arizona State. But first, NC State, 24-14 over UConn on the road. And UConn's not bad under Jim Mora. He's slowly trying to get that program to be good on the reg. But I think you guys thought that NC State, at least you did, LT, possibly could contend to sneak into the conversation for possibly the ACC championship. I could not water down those expectations anymore with my words because I'm fearful of what we have discussed now. But it does seem like you thought NC State had a chance to be good.
Well, I thought they were a little conservative last night, and they had a 4th and 1 because we had NC State last night minus the 14.5. And they were going down. They were inside of the 30. It was 4th and 1, and they hand the ball off. And Brennan Armstrong is one of those guys that was less than a yard. Quarterback sneak, he's going to get that 95% of the time. I didn't understand that play call. He still had 96 yards on the ground, a couple of touchdowns. I will tell you this Victor Rosa kid for UConn it's like Christian McCaffrey, 0.2. The kid can absolutely fly.
Yeah.
And he's a true sophomore. He had 2 touchdowns last night. I mean, that was really the difference. I mean, they had the most electric player on the field.
He's the kid that flipped into the end zone that one time. No flag there, by the way.
No, they flagged
him.
No,
they flagged him 15 yards. Yeah.
I was wondering if they flagged him. They didn't take the touchdown off the board.
No. They just 15 on the they did it ensuing kickoff.
Yeah,
on the ensuing kickoff.
I thought it was supposed to be if you were not in the end zone when you when you celebrate that it's supposed to.
They tacked it on, and then that was the kickoff return where NC State got it up to their own 45, and the kid got laid out, and it was like a 15-minute delay. It was pretty scary for a minute because he had no feeling.
Yeah. I would say I don't necessarily. I'm with you, Jim. I'm a little more worried about NC State. Now, Lance had them in the conference championship game. I did not, but I thought they would be a pretty good team.
I'd walk that back right now.
I bet you would.
Yeah, I just don't see a lot of playmakers outside of Armstrong.
But also, I don't want to bury them and not praise UConn. I think Jim Mora Jr. has done a pretty good job with UConn.
That's different than what Arizona State showed me last night against Southern Utah.
Right.
Now, I may be sleepy on Southern Utah.
Maybe so.
But 24-21, Arizona State, Southern Utah, with what he's having to deal with there. Now you got players who thought they were coming back for their last year, didn't hit the portal. Now you tell them they can't go to a bowl game. That seems like a crap show right there in Tempe right now.
Well, I will say this. I went back to Uzi last night.
Did you unload the clip?
Just to try the Pac-12 because I wanted to see Jaden Rashada play.
Yeah, you did.
And guess what? It was smooth as silk. And
not Jaden Rashada.
Uzi was not Rashada.
Rashada can throw a deep ball, though. I will say that about the kid. He throws off his back foot a lot. He's a little undersized. Again, True freshman, though. He threw a couple of beautiful deep balls. But, I was trying to watch second half, and I was watching Dodgers-Braves at the same time. I'm up at midnight, and they've got this weather delay in Tempe, where after halftime, everybody hit the exits.
What's the weather delay?
It was, they had like a dust storm come through.
Yeah, it's a dust storm. That's very on brand.
Yeah. No, really, it was a dust storm. And so they had the weather delay. And so I never got to see the second half. I only got to see a good majority of the first half.
One was playing Utah and one was playing Southern Utah. But if you put Jaden Rashada in the Florida offense, would you think they perform better?
He's better.
He's better than Graham Mertz. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. That's where he was supposed to be. Nicholas says, don't sleep on Southern Utah, Jimmy D.
I mean, they got a 4-year starting quarterback at Justin Miller. Yeah. Almost played him last night in our DraftKings. Didn't need to because I won anyway.
The Thunderbirds play at BYU next, so you'll learn a little bit about Southern Utah. They're at BYU next.
Yeah, Southern Utah, BYU. Can't wait for that one. Get that one on Uzi.
Battle of Utah.
All right, tell me quickly about our friends at Moore's Marinade Brownie. Perfect for the weekend.
Hey, you know what? My wife is making. My wife every year for week one does a spread, right?
Yes, she does.
And last night.
What time will it be ready tomorrow?
Well, we'll have breakfast. We start with breakfast.
We ought to drop by for breakfast.
Yeah, y'all come on by. Y'all want to come by?
Let's do the show live.
Sure. Yeah, y'all are more than welcome at my house.
Can I bring Bullet?
What is Bullet?
Bullet is the rescue Vizsla that he just pulled 100 ticks off.
Well, it had 110 ticks.
100 ticks? No, you can't bring a dog 100 ticks.
There's Bullet.
All right. You got 2 dogs now.
Well, look, Bullet's getting fostered right now.
Okay.
Now, Bullet is trying to sell me on a full-time home.
Yeah.
Bullet is skin and bones. I think the dog was in the wilderness for like 2 weeks.
That's very, very sad.
It really is.
But anyway, my wife, but she was getting the menu together, and she said, what about cheeseburger sliders? I got a good cheeseburger slider recipe. Ooh. And she said, and I'm going to use some of the Moors in it. I've discovered. I'm like, there you go, baby.
You know, that sounds good. I mean, I lost another pound yesterday, and I grilled burgers. I ate 2 burgers and made sweet potato. I cut the sweet potato fries myself.
Yeah, and you're losing weight.
We might need to get you checked out.
Lance going to be picking 150 ticks off you,
right?
I know. I just had blood work done earlier this week and raved about my numbers, and I'm just dropping. I'm a pound a day right now.
Have you ever seen the movie Thinner? Stephen King.
I have. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was an awful movie.
Yeah, it is a bad movie.
He gets basically like a witch doctor jinxes him, right?
It was a gypsy. He hits a gypsy in a car, and they puts a curse on him. But the other guy, his friend, gets the lizard curse. Would you rather have that one?
No.
He just gets scales.
Hey, speaking of all those things, Moore's Marinades and Sauce is your secret sauce for grilling and backyard grilling during the football season. Moore's, I don't know why I separated those two, grilling and backyard grilling, but you can do it, I guess, a lot of different places. They've got lower sodium, the leading lower sodium marinade. That wing sauce is terrific. Drip, drizzle, or slather Moore's buffalo wing sauce on everything you eat. Do it this weekend. Jennifer Brown's going to do it with my cheeseburger sliders, and I'll send out a video or something like that so you can see what she did. With Moore's Marinade, you can get great grilling inspiration, great recipe ideas like my wife had at mooresmarinades.com. That is mooresmarinades.com.
Look what Bobby said over in the Vulcan Tire.
Well, you have 2 dogs now. It sounded like a 19th century Southern gentleman telling his 200-pound wife, you look amazing, which he asked, does this dress make me look fat? Well, I don't know. I did not know you had housed another dog. The first one seemed like it was consuming all of your time. I didn't know we'd have number 2.
The first one's been in boot camp and creative dog training for the last 2 weeks.
I know, but it has affected your schedule.
Do we need to work into your schedule walking 2 different dogs at different times, or would you walk them together at the same time?
Do we want to go behind the curtain here?
No. I'm just saying the dog.
No,
we've got a lot of stuff going on, and I didn't know it was a big deal for me to say, I've got to be able to run home after the show to walk my dog.
It's not, but that's my point.
I am the one. I'm the one that's been fighting for you to have time to go with the dog.
I don't care that you do it. Don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying it affected your schedule, and you've added another one. That just seemed like that's all I'm saying.
I would assume they would enjoy running together. Is my point, right?
Yeah.
I'll figure this out.
Yeah. You get 2 leashes.
I'm not
I'll
saying
figure this out. I think you just said you'll keep Bullet.
I am not saying that I'm keeping Bullet.
You've already named Bullet.
Bullet after the bourbon?
Well, it doesn't have a name. Like when I talked to the chick out of Austin yesterday, she's like, be creative. It doesn't have a name. Yep. And I was like, if I ever got a boy Vizsla, I would name it Bullet after the bourbon.
Well, now you've used the name, so you've got to keep it.
That's not necessarily true because whoever gets the dog, I can say this is Bullet.
But you can't use that name now. If you ever get a boy Vizsla, you can't come back with Bullet again.
Why can't I?
Silver Bullet.
It just would be confusing. Yeah. I mean, when you reference Bullet, I'll go back to the 110.
No, there's a chance you won't even ever meet Bullet. I know Brown won't.
Yeah. This Bullet?
Yeah.
Oh, I was planning on coming over tomorrow.
I told the girl yesterday, Wednesday, got to be out of the house. And now Bullet is trying to say, let's stay a little longer. So Bullet might be going to boot camp next week. We'll see.
Yeah, you got 2 dogs.
That's a beautiful
You got 2 dogs.
Poll question really quick, Taylor. Should Lance keep Bullet?
Yep.
Spelled like the bourbon, correct?
Yes. So it's Bullet.
Yeah, you've named it and you kiss it on the mouth in this video.
No,
I think you've already. That's your
that was a
dog.
mistake because that dog might have parasites.
It happens all the time. We all make mistakes.
Really, I think the dog probably
There's
does
this
have
one
parasites.
guy on Bourbon Street that,
He had parasites too.
Can you get a tight shot here, Forster? Look, the claws are so big. When I was bathing him last night.
Yep. Oh,
awesome.
you've bathed him too.
Do you get in with them?
I would hope. And this is why Brown is not 100. You can't be 100 and not like dogs.
Yeah, the
Michael
thing,
said you got to keep Bullet.
The thing that frustrates me about your stance on dogs with me is that you think I hate dogs. I don't hate dogs.
No, you're just indifferent.
I am indifferent.
Yeah, but if you're indifferent, you can't be 100.
How do you feel about fish?
You know when I love my
I'm
dogs
indifferent
the
about
most?
Okay, then you can't be.
Fish don't have personalities.
You know when I love my dogs the most?
When
I'm shit-faced.
Yeah.
Last night, I'm sitting there.
Would you have too much bourbon?
They're laying up there with me. We're watching football
That's not
games.
a dog, Jim. That's a couch cushion.
I'm sitting there. They're asleep. They're annoying little dogs sometimes. Nobody's barking. They're laid out. Their eyes are open. They're sort of watching, bad offensive football, but really entertaining game. Great game, but bad offensive football. And I'm looking. I take a picture.
You'll die on that hill, aren't you? All day long.
I sent it to Maggie. I was like, "How'd I get so lucky? Sitting here watching 3 TVs, a comfortable room, great wife, daughter toured DC yesterday. My son and I grilled burgers earlier. These pups are.
I'm not going to let you escape it though. You said the worst thing about her going out of town is you got to walk the dogs.
Oh, I'm saying I'm not shit-faced when I'm walking the dogs. I just said when I love my dogs the most is usually when I'm drinking quite a bit. Yeah, just the opposite.
Do you want a Vizsla?
I do not want
got a tick issue.
I thought about
or had a tick issue.
No, Bobby brings up a great point. How painful must it be to have 110 ticks on you?
Well, it would suck.
Sucking the blood out of you and the pain that goes with it, the creepiness of it all, and you remove those ticks. The dog, as Bobby says, is madly in love with
That's right. That dog's at his home
you
right
pulled
now.
the thorn out of the paw of the lion.
Will never live anywhere else.
Never squealed, didn't make a
That's
noise,
right. Yep.
and finally didn't really have a personality. It was kind of like in a, I don't know, kind of in a daze all night, and then this morning,
lack of blood, probably.
Like I think all the ticks are dead now, and all the fleas are dead, and so the dog wanted to play this morning, so he's got a personality.
Yeah,
Good.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's at home. You got 2 dogs now.
Our friends at
that.
MyBookie gets you into the game. MyBookie.ag. Louisville, Georgia Tech. Best game on the slate tonight. Wolves, two guys coaching their alma maters, and we'll see what Jeff Brom brings to the table. That's in Mercedes-Benz Stadium for that game. Louisville and Georgia Tech. MyBookie.ag.
Yeah, they can get you in on that game, and you can play it right now with code NEXTROUND and get that welcome bonus. A welcome bonus if you've never gotten on MyBookie.ag. Go do it right now. Get that welcome bonus with code NEXTROUND. And for a limited time, a free chip to use in the MyBookie Casino when you go to MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. I tell you about that parlay deal they got right there. You hit those first 2 legs of your parlay, right? And you're like, boy, I do not want to stay up and watch Coastal Carolina UCLA play late into Saturday night / Sunday morning.
Why would you not?
I don't know, Jim. But if you don't want to, guess what you could do, buddy?
Put something on it?
No, you can cash out the first 2 legs of those parlays.
Yes.
Different part of the script.
Yes.
You can cash out the first 2 legs of those parlays.
We're doing the pick 3
in the show. And then use that money elsewhere there at MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. MyBookie.ag. Code NEXTROUND gets you that deposit bonus. And for a limited time, a free chip to use in the MyBookie Casino. Go right now. Don't waste time. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to the Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Tell us about our friends at HydroLife real quick, LT, before we hear what Tyler Watts said. Listen, Tyler Watts yesterday.
Any sarcasm?
We had some moments.
Baked into the cake right there.
One moment near the end, because I welcomed Tyler to the broadcast team. I was like, hey, Tyler, there was a time I thought one day this would be me and you. I'd be doing play-by-play of Alabama, and you'd be Tyler Watts doing the broadcast. And he said, what happened? And I said, well, Chris Stewart happened.
That's right.
I'm not as good as Chris Stewart. Chris Stewart happened. He's blocked me on several different fronts here over the years. So Tyler's first official game broadcast is tomorrow on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. More on what Tyler said on the Talk of Champions podcast after LT tells us about HydroLife.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. You're going to get after it this weekend, watching football all weekend long. Go get an IV right now. Pregame with it. They're open 7 days a week in Hoover, the Greystone location. That's the newest location, the corner of 119 and Doug Baker Boulevard. Also in Homewood, they're open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 7 days a week. Can't make it to HydroLife? Not a big deal. A nurse can actually come to your home or place of business. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at HydroLife Therapy. You can learn more about all of their fantastic services. Go to hydrolifetherapy.com. When you're at HydroLife Therapy, make sure you mention Next Round at checkout. You're going to save 20% off any of those great services. Again, Next Round at checkout, save 20%.
Okay, so in this edition of Talk of Champions, you can get it on the Disrupt the Media YouTube channel and wherever you get our podcast there. Disrupt the Media is where you go, like and subscribe. It's part of the Roll Tide Pods. Roll Tide Pods. That's where you get Bama and Bourbon. That's where you get this every week. We'll be talking about games in reverse, but looking ahead to the weekend usually on this. But this is the first chance because Tyler's seen 2 scrimmages and several practices. So we walked through all of the position groups and what he has seen from them. So if you're getting ready for the Alabama game, it's a must-go-to in my opinion. But I was moving away a little too quickly from the linebackers when he says, wait, we got to talk about Alabama's next C.J. Mosley. And I was like, What? Wait, Alabama's got the next C.J. Mosley.
C.J. Mosley, as I remember, it was a pretty good player for Alabama.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say.
And so that's where this part of the conversation happens.
But on that defensive line, you got some
Well,
talent.
we got to talk about Deontay Lawson first.
Okay,
All right,
give me
so
Deontay Lawson.
This is the guy that's like impressive to me.
Okay.
He's just like a Mosley type of player where, I mean, he is in between the tackles, he's shooting gaps, and he is flying sideline to sideline.
So you just said C.J. Mosley.
I did.
Oh, wow.
Look, I'm not saying he's going to have that type of year, but that's what he reminds you of. I mean,
Yeah.
he is taking command of this defense, and he's taking ownership of it. It's his. Marshall, number 17, the kid I think that transferred in from Georgia. He's another dude that is playing extremely well in the practices and the games that I have seen. So I expect a lot out of this linebacker core. I think it's going to be a strength this year because I think they're just as big, maybe a little bit bigger than they have been in years past, but I think they're quicker.
Quicker at linebacker and not as undersized in the middle where, with all due respect to our NIL conversation with Henry To'oTo'o every week, there was some people that didn't think Henry To'oTo'o graded out great every week, and especially in some of the big moments in big games.
Good heart, great player personality. We loved having him on as our NIL guest, but, there were some missed assignments, step slow here, missed tackle there.
Missteps, maybe going one step wrong way, and it can cost you.
Yeah, look, this defense is starting to get hyped up like we did going into 2021. You remember we did that exercise when we were doing the show from the Galleria, our first show, and we were talking about let's go through the Alabama schedule and what we think the opponents are going to score. And we basically had Alabama giving up like 12 points a game or something. And when you talk to people that have actually seen this defense, they're like, it is airtight. It is going to be one of the better defenses Nick Saban's had, which is a mouthful. So we'll see. And it starts with those linebackers. Like I think secondary is going to be great.
Well, I mean, Deontay Lawson is interesting. Now, he wears number 32. So when that came out, a lot of people are saying, is he comparing him with C.J. Mosley because C.J. Mosley wore 32, or does he legit look like C.J. Mosley? And now Tyler was very quick to say, I'm not saying he's going to be C.J. Mosley, but he reminds you of that style of play. And this is a guy that had 50 total tackles for Alabama last year, so he's got a significant amount of playing time, played in 11 games. But you put him together with some of that other talent they've got at linebacker.
Braswell and Turner on the edge.
Yeah. And he mentioned Tresman Marshall, the Georgia transfer. Now, Jihad Campbell is out for this. Well, I shouldn't say he's out for this game. I think Nick Saban described him as doubtful last night, but said he should be ready to go against Texas, which kind of tells you maybe they're holding him out to make sure he's ready to go. So you may not quite have the depth across the board at linebacker that you're going to have already, and that might mean you get to see more of Marshall and Deontay Lawson.
Yeah, and not to give everything away Tyler said, but he has interesting comments about Otis and the shape he's in and what they're doing with him now. And then the secondary, he says, which could be the best unit on the field.
Yeah. So if you're a Bama fan, obviously go watch that.
Roll Tide Pods.
Go back and watch Bama and Bourbon, a little Old Forester, which I was blown away. This Old Forester was the 100 proof, was as smooth as it was. But we went unit by unit with Aaron Suttles. And so he kind of breaks that down too. So between Tyler and Aaron, you'll get a lot of insight going into tomorrow's game.
Now, I tell you, the player I'm most excited to watch for Alabama tomorrow is Caleb Downs.
I would agree with that.
Who looks like he's going to get the start from all the reports that Caleb Downs will start at safety.
Tyler makes a great point about him.
Okay, what did he say?
Because of what Kool-Aid and Arnold can do on the corners.
That's right.
They feel like Kevin Steele and Nick Saban will trust them to be on islands. And Caleb is physical enough to where he will be able to come and help in the run game, which at times hurt Alabama last year. Some big plays. Quarterbacks or running backs were able to maybe get a little gap run at a crucial time. See Jaden Daniels. That cost you a football game.
Well, Lance, the guy I've seen him compared to most is freshman Minka Fitzpatrick and freshman Malachi Moore. Now, Malachi Moore got behind Brian Branch and didn't play a ton as much. I shouldn't say a ton, but as much.
But first sight.
First year of Malachi Moore, you thought he was the next Minka Fitzpatrick, too.
Yeah, and I'll say this about Caleb Downs. Different position, but the impact that Harold Perkins started to make as the season went on. Early in the season, the game was a little fast for him. And once it slowed down, he was the best player on the field in most games. And I think Caleb Downs has got that kind of potential.
Yeah. So Alabama's defense, as LT said, getting a little bit of love as we get to the opening game with Middle Tennessee happening this weekend. We've talked all week on the Village Vice and War Dam Pods at the Disrupt the Media area there. You can get all the Auburn coverage as they get ready for Hugh Freeze's first game down at Jordan-Hare against UMass. 2:30 for Auburn, 6:30 for Alabama on the SEC Network for Alabama tomorrow night. All right, that's 1 hour down. We go to Vegas and Furman, talk about the games happening this weekend through the eyes of Vegas. And then a little over 1 hour from now, Rockstar's first Playhouse. Rockstar's Playhouse will come every week in the 11 o'clock hour, and usually at that first segment to start off the final hour of the show as you do your programming there. Don't forget, nextroundlive.com is where you go for the Pick 3. It is up and rolling right now. Our friends, they're doing the Pick 3 on the website there. Lunsford's overseeing all that. He is the commissioner of the Pick 3. Big prize at the end of the year. Get a ball in the bucket. You can start trying to do that today by playing the Pick 3 right now at nextroundlive.com. Shannara Flooring takes us to the top of the hour.
Yeah, I mean, Rockstar had an ending to a Nebraska-Minnesota game buried in a
great ending?
No, it was a very disappointing ending for Nebraska. You did not have the Minnesota portion buried. You had the Nebraska portion buried, Rockstar, in your extra room there.
Well, we didn't rule out some new carpet.
Boom!
R-H-U-L-E.
Yeah.
He's the coach of Nebraska.
Yeah, and basically young Cord was tripping over fumbles and late game interceptions and hurting his head, right?
Yeah, now he's got a Satterfield to play in?
Yeah, Cord was like, Dad, in Nebraska, you a question. We need to have padding on this thing because it's hurting my cabeza.
Yeah.
And I said, I didn't know you know Spanish. And I said, we're going to go to Shannara Flooring and talk to Fu. Fu and us and you are going to get some flooring, and we got some
carpeting. And when it was time for him to put his PJ Flex on, he had a nice play area to play in.
Yeah. Yeah. We've probably taken it far enough there. Homewood Carpet and Flooring is the name that they used to have. They now have Shannara Flooring. The name may have changed, but they still offer the same superior customer service and the best floors in Birmingham. Fu and you, as Rockstar mentioned, same people you know, man. They just changed the name.
Is that where you go for your
that's
flooring?
where you go for your flooring. You're right. We had not taken it far enough.
Just
You're
too
right.
corny.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, corny because Cornhuskers.
Jeez. Shannara Flooring offers the best tile, hardwoods, carpet, LVP and LVT, the best countertops, the best specialty flooring in all of Birmingham. It does not matter whether you're residential like Rockstar or if you're commercial, they do every single bit of it. ShannaraFlooring.com. That is ShannaraFlooring.com. Or call them at 205-518-6423. 205-518-6423. Rockstar and Shannara Flooring.
When Fuad comes and with his crew, I think they should name the group, the slogan, A Fu Good Men.
You won't be on that floor. You need me on that floor.
You need me on that floor.
Fu
you don't want the truth.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The extra hours of sunshine are back on the clock, and that means it's time for golf at Timberline, a short drive from Birmingham or Montgomery. Go to timberlinegc.com, timberlinegc.com to book your tee times, schedule a lesson, or just drop by and use the TrackMan technology on the driving range. The course is always fun, in great shape, and you can even become a member. Get all the details at timberlinegc.com. It's time to get your golf on with our friends at Timberline.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations, but we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
New hour of the show here as we move forward. University of Montevallo. Got a great email from a student who's now on the shooting team at the University of Montevallo. I think it's called the shooting team.
I don't think that's what they call it.
Okay.
I'll look it up when you talk about them.
It might be the rifle team.
Yeah, that's probably more like it. Yeah.
I thought it was called the shooting team, shooting sports that they have at in college. But 23 Division II fully funded scholarship sports. That's one of the new ones at Montevallo, and he is now a scholarship athlete at Montevallo because he listens and watches this show. His family did. Montevallo.edu, Montevallo.edu. If you want to continue your high school career or a sport like rifle or shooting, you can do that at Montevallo. A great college life, perfect fit for a lot of people. Schedule an in-person tour, Montevallo.edu, Montevallo.edu. Let's talk about football going on this weekend and bring in our buddy Todd Fuhrman now.
BetTheBoardPodcast.com, BetTheBoardPodcast.com, at Todd Fuhrman on Twitter. He's been going for a couple months. He dug a hole, got in there, and got all this football information together so he could give you great leans on this show. What is up, Furman? How are you?
Doing well, gentlemen. Had to go into the bunker, do a little bit of research, and hopefully it pays off as we flip the calendar from August to September and have a good slate of college football to kick things off this weekend.
If you watch the Fox game, you might not be aware that they've got TCU Colorado for the big noon kickoff tomorrow. I don't know if they ever promoted that during the game last night. Dunaway was saying, like I see right now TCU as favorite 21. Dunaway was saying he's seen people predicting it like, what?
37-24, 34-20.
I mean, that seems way too close for this game. When you look at this game, what do you see?
I mean, that's news to me. I actually thought it was a Colorado intra-squad scrimmage we were going to get tomorrow down there in Fort Worth instead of them actually taking on another opponent. But there is no doubt that Colorado has become one of the most polarizing college football programs with a win total sitting at 3.5 that we've seen in quite some time. And when you look at the betting market, as far as the big picture numbers, Colorado's taking money from professional bettors under their win total. Recreational bettors, though, are looking to put up a little bit to make a lot. Backing Shedeur Sanders in the Heisman market, looking to bet Colorado to win the conference and the national championship, which obviously for me is a bridge way too far to cross. But I think as a result, given all the national attention being placed on Colorado, we're seeing their actual game number here put in a very good spot right around that 3-touchdown threshold. Not a lot of movement, not a huge appetite from professionals to lay this number every time it dips to 20.5. But I think what's real fascinating about this is that Sonny Dykes believes this team is faster and more athletic than the addition that took the college football world by storm last year at TCU before they were bludgeoned by Georgia in the conference championship game. What ultimately I think is Colorado's undoing here is their offensive line group is the one position group that I have the biggest questions on, And when you don't have depth and you're playing at 100-degree temperatures, if not warmer down there in Fort Worth, that's a group that could potentially get worn down by some of the multiple bodies and defensive fronts we'll see from TCU. So for me, I would lean towards the favorite here. I do respect the over money that's come in, but quite honestly, I want to see a little bit more from Chandler Morris. It's a guy that we don't have a ton of film on, but even in limited sample sizes, just didn't show that same command of the offense like we saw from Max Duggan when he took over last year. But I think TCU can stretch this game out late, but I don't think they win this going away by 30-plus to get you comfortable cover.
Furman, the only total I played last week was the under in USC San Jose State because I thought USC would definitely try to flex with new members of that defense and Alex Grinch kind of on a hot seat. Obviously, that game went over. You know, I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago with these new clock rules. It's going to be interesting to see what the professionals do with these total numbers. It seems like a lot of, not that the clock has really mattered. I think it's like taking 3 or 4 plays off, but it seems like a lot of these games are flying under.
It's one of those things early in the year where even with the old clock rules, you were going to oftentimes gravitate towards the defenses being ahead of the offenses, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that now. We haven't, however, seen some of those long 10-minute drives just yet where that clock keeps churning that I keep waiting for with some of these run-dominant offenses. Thought we might get a little bit more of that last night from Minnesota, but they had to throw the ball more than we've grown accustomed to. But at the same time, that was a game that was extremely short on possessions. I believe both teams only had the ball 3 times apiece in the first half of that football game. So I think it's one of those things that you're always going to keep tabs on the market, especially over the first couple of weeks. But then I think we'll go through another change when you see that heightened level of familiarity with some of these conference foes that are there. But to your point, LT, when you look at some of these high-profile games, you have seen a lot of these totals move 3 or 4 points to the under with teams that want to lean on the ground game. Most notably, tomorrow night under the lights in Happy Valley between West Virginia and Penn State, you have some concerns about Drew Lahr as well, but we know James Franklin has a backfield he can lean on. And there are a couple other games that fit that bill as well, including a game tonight where you've seen Miami and Ohio go from 48.5 on the peak now down to 45. Of course, a little bit of Tyler Van Dyke's finger status factored into that equation as well as this total has come down a touch.
Todd, it's Jim Dunaway. I don't know if you remember me or not. Welcome back to the show. Glad to have you back.
Dunaway, you don't call, you don't write when you come out to Vegas. You don't send me your fades for week 0 of college football. I'm not sure where this relationship is going.
Tonight, Louisville and Georgia Tech. Does my boy Brent Key have a fighting chance to spoil Jeff Brom's debut as the coach of Louisville?
I actually like Georgia Tech a bit in this spot. I think Haynes King gives them an upgrade at quarterback, and the reports out of camp were that he had firm command of the offense. Brent Key deserved a tremendous amount of credit for the way he was able to keep that train from completely derailing last year when they got off to a slow start. Look, it's going to be a slow climb for Georgia Tech to build their talent level back, and while Louisville is a team that I think a lot of people are excited given the coaching change, the familiarity with Jake Plummer coming in to run the system that he had basically been indoctrinated into at Purdue when he was there. But while Louisville breaks in a ton of new wide receivers, I think that plays into the strength of the Georgia Tech defense, where I'm a little bit worried about their ability to stop the run out of the gates, but I think the secondary can be a little bit better. You have seen some professional money come in on the total under, a game I don't really want much part of in that regard, but I do think at 7.5, Georgia Tech is a very intriguing value proposition, and I'm excited to see Haynes King wearing slightly different colors.
Todd Fuhrman, bettheboardpodcast.com. Also, you see him on the CBS Sports Network everywhere. Follow him on Twitter, @Todd Fuhrman. But every single game of interest they'll talk about at bettheboardpodcast.com. We're just getting sampling here. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. The Battle of the Carolinas. North Carolina is favored 2.5 Saturday night over South Carolina and Charlotte. There is a total of 64 in this game. Sell me, if you can, on the fact that these two teams will combine for fewer than 64 points. This seems like a shootout.
I'm happy to sell you on that. Now, this is one of those bets that you can make in college football, that you look like a genius when it goes 24-21, or everybody gives you the I told you so when it's a 45-42 final, given the prestige of the two quarterbacks that we'll see doing battle here. But when you look at North Carolina, a change in offensive coordinator, Chip Lindsey, comes in to assume the reins for Phil Longo. And all the talk out of camp is about physicality, them being able to establish the ground game. And I think a lot of that has to do with North Carolina's weapons on the outside potentially not being nearly as dynamic as what we saw last year with Antoine Green and Josh Downs no longer there. All of us that want to try and get a piece in this game, waiting to see what the NCAA does with Tez Walker. And for UNC to come out and say that they have two different game plans with Walker in the mix versus without, tells me that they may want to be even more ground heavy and try and protect that defense a little bit behind an offensive line that took on water late in the year last season. Meanwhile, for South Carolina, the way to beat them last year was run the football right at them between the tackles. It was a secondary that put up very good numbers, mainly because teams didn't have to throw and really test that side of the ball. But they've dealt with some injuries in their own right in camp. I know Shane Beamer came out earlier this week and said Juice Wells was going to be 100%, the same with Nick Harbor. But when you miss extended stretches during fall camp, you wonder about conditioning and what kind of snap count those guys will be on. So for me, I actually like this game under the total, but going to wait, see if the public continues to drive it up, knowing it is one of the marquee games on Saturday night, and hope I have a slightly better number to go under, and hope these two quarterbacks don't hit their stride right from the opening series.
You know, one of the better games this weekend out west in Seattle, Boise State and Washington. Nobody's talking about Boise State. Everybody's talking about Washington possibly winning the Pac-12 and being a sleeper to get to the college football playoff, but I think this is kind of a dangerous game for the Huskies.
Would agree completely here, and you have seen some of the 14.5s that were out there with Washington installed as a 2-touchdown plus favorite disappear, trending towards that 2-touchdown number now. A little bit of over money as well. Boise State's interesting because they fit the profile of what we like to call a running dog, where they're going to commit to the game plan on the ground and look to try and shorten this contest. Two very talented running backs in Genti and Holani that are going to torment Mountain West defenses. You look at a quarterback in Jalen Green, who people haven't seen a ton of, but at the same time, you know, a little bit of a dual threat guy, talking about potentially being a fringe second or third round day NFL draft pick. The problem for Boise in this spot is they're breaking in almost an entirely new defense, and that's not exactly the recipe for success against Michael Penix and arguably the deepest receiving core west of the Mississippi that Washington is going to throw out there. But if that passing game struggles even a little bit, could be very difficult to find separation in this spot. Would lean towards the underdog, but actually like this game over the total a bit. I think we could see some fireworks on full display in Seattle.
Best game of the weekend is a Sunday nighter, LSU and Florida State, 6:30 on ABC. Both these defenses, you've infused their holes with some transfer guys. A lot of focus on the two quarterbacks in this one, but this may be a defensive masterpiece as well. Who do you like in the biggest game of the weekend, LSU Florida State?
Now, of course, the big storyline here that I know SEC fans have followed, the suspension and the botching that the NCAA has done with Mason Smith's situation. So that creates a big hole, in my opinion, along that LSU defensive line. And when you look at the way that LSU wants to deploy Harold Perkins this year, I wonder if they're going to limit some of his athleticism by moving him inside, making him play a little bit more assignment-style football instead of letting him pin his ears back and come after opposing quarterbacks that he did so well last year. Jaden Daniels put a little bit more bulk on his frame. We'll see if LSU is aggressive throwing the ball downfield. But I quite frankly don't really love their receiving room as it stands right now. I think Malik Neighbors is a true number one, but have some questions elsewhere on the roster. You mentioned what Florida State was able to do in the transfer portal, and they did bring in some bodies. Now, they aren't going to exactly be household names when you look at Braden Fisk coming in from Western Michigan along the defensive line. He was one of the big coups for them. Fentrell Cypress, a talented defensive back out of Virginia, one of the top corners in the portal, and then being able to recruit some of the guys that were already on their roster. Jared Verse will be a first-round NFL pick, Fabian Lovett as well. I actually like what I've read out of Florida State a lot more than this LSU camp that had some issues with Denver Harris, the transfer from A&M, and Brian Kelly making a statement about some of the youth that they're taking on the road in this spot. Not quite backpedaling, but the buzz and confidence isn't quite there the same way that it is for a Florida State team that has to believe they can put together a more complete effort than what we saw last year. The other thing is this will be the fourth meeting between Mike Norvell and Brian Kelly over the last 4 seasons at various programs. Mike Norvell has gotten the best of Brian Kelly where it matters most at the betting window, going 3-0 ATS. I think that streak continues. And honestly, guys, I wouldn't be shocked if Florida State wins this game by double digits.
Wow. I wouldn't be shocked if Florida State wins this game by double digits. You just said that.
Yep, I did just say that. And when we look at the number here, when I factor in my raw number comes real close to market with LSU right around a 2-point favorite. But some of the other things I build in, I actually make Florida State a short favorite in this spot. And I think Florida State has a chance to actually run away and hide a little bit more readily than LSU, which will come off as a slight surprise for a lot of people, myself included. I think LSU is going to be a very difficult out all season long in the SEC West. But I just believe that much in this Florida State offense and how multiple they can be in week one when you look at some of the weapons that they have on the outside. And Keon Coleman, the transfer from Michigan State, Johnny Wilson, two big bodies, and LSU just doesn't have a lot of size at the boundary corner position.
Okay, I just got to ask you a question. Honestly, who did you pull for growing up in college football?
You know, growing up, I actually didn't have a true team. My favorite pastime was rooting against the Miami Hurricanes because that was the team that my dad rooted for each and every weekend. So by default, I found myself rooting for Florida State more than anybody else to try and spoil his party on the weekends. But guys, when you grow up in the Chicago suburbs, you don't exactly bleed the purple of Northwestern football and count your hours until Saturday at 11 o'clock Central that you can go into Evanston, and there are 37 people in attendance for those games.
Permission to treat as hostile.
Yes.
Come on. So you're
wow.
You're basically Danny Cannell West.
I'm not sure I'll go that far, and don't ever put me in the same bucket as Danny Cannell. I'll have to go on record with him next time we do a CBS hit. But you boys know me well enough here. If I can make money betting on or against anybody, that is the ultimate way to try and go about business. One thing I will say, too, on a game a little bit closer to home down in Mobile, I think South Alabama has an excellent chance to pull off an upset against Tulane. I really like what Coach Womack is doing there, and I think this is a Tulane team that takes a step back, given some of the players that they lost to the next level, most notably Tajay Spears offensively and Dorian Williams on the defensive side. So put Tulane on upset alert. I think you could get a big win for the Jaguars.
I mean, Furman leaves us with a tomahawk chop with his right hand and the J's up with his left hand, baby.
I mean,
look at Furman.
Hey, by the way, every person I respect in gambling, including Todd Fuhrman, I have not heard from LT yet, Lance'sLock.com, seems to love South Alabama against Tulane.
I like South Alabama.
I do too. Scott Van Pelt picked him on SportsCenter last night on his games. Furman,
it's a bad spot too because Tulane is looking forward to that Ole Miss game coming on campus.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. And look, honestly, silver lining for me, if Tulane ends up winning this game comfortably, hopefully we get a shorter number to bet Ole Miss with on the road and come back to the well with South Alabama in a few weeks when they go into Stillwater and take on Oklahoma State.
Yep. All right, Furman, that was a heck of a finish to your – not just your whole segment wasn't great, but those last two were honeys, man.
Way to land the plane.
It is a 12-round prize fight every Friday that I come on with you guys. I can't empty the tank in the first 3 rounds and leave myself open for a Dunaway knockout punch midway through the 5th. I got to make sure I can win it in the ring and the ladder rounds with superior conditioning, that or at least open myself up to a chance to win it on the scorecards as well.
My big play of the weekend is Clemson and giving the points Monday night. So if you want to just save the phone call.
LT, you haven't taught Dunaway anything that he takes a standalone primetime game, the get-out game on Monday Night Football, and wants to lay 2 touchdowns on the road with a Heisman favorite in Kate Klubnik. Did you have to handicap all season in the lab to try and come up with this one, Dunaway?
He's the best.
All right, Furman, enjoy the weekend. We'll see you next Friday. As always, thank you for the time.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Enjoy the weekend.
All right, buddy, you too. Furman with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, BetTheBoardPodcast.com. BetTheBoardPodcast.com. He gave us the storyline coming out of week 1. If Florida State wins that game going away, that is absolutely the biggest storyline coming out of week 1.
Because then people are going to say the Florida State that we remember is back. I think if either one of those teams wins a game by double digits, I disagree with them on that game. I hate the fact that Mason Smith's not playing. Don't like that John Emery's not playing. But I still think LSU's a better team.
NCAA suspension for Mason, academic issues with John Emery. If it's double digits, Florida State over LSU, you're going to get one of these.
What are we getting?
You're going to get one of these. You're going to get.
What is that?
Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo Fisher.
Come out now. I've got a chance. Jimbo Fisher. I get Alabama at home. Jimbo Fisher going to be sneaky.
Jimbo Fisher popping up over the.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey,
Jimbo.
Hey,
Jimbo.
Man,
you're saying Jimbo now. He hosts Alabama, and LSU maybe not his world beater.
All of a sudden, LSU is bailing water. Good day for Jimbo Fisher. Hey, always a good day with our friends at Redmond Vodka. Get ready to wake up early tomorrow at Brownie's house with a mimosa.
Absolutely, locally owned and operated. Their aim, color, and taste, clarity. 8 times distilled, gluten-free. Ask for it by name. It's available in 22 states. Charles Barkley, one of the great faces behind the local product. If they don't have it at your local bar or restaurant, tell them to get it. It's available at ABC stores, package stores. Again, this weekend, pick up a bottle of Redmont vodka.
Listen, LT found a dog, rescue dog, 110 ticks pulled off. That sounds like a lot. Does 5 million bees? There's a look at Bullet. Going to be an LT's permanent dog here pretty soon.
Right.
I just got
LT's second animal.
Got a feeling. Does 5 million bees sound like a lot?
5 million, as you said, when we hit 1 million downloads or something like that, I can't remember what we hit very early on here. I said, is that a lot? And you said, Brownie, 1 million of anything's a lot.
Okay, so times that by 5. 5 million bees. I don't know if you guys are keeping up with the problems we have in the world, but bees keep pollination and all. They're very important. So in some places of the world, we're having to move bees in because there's a bee shortage. That is happening in Burlington, Ontario. They were moving some bees up into Canada. 5 million of them on one truck.
Well, I would suck at keeping up with these things.
I would too.
The world would definitely go sideways because I would be like, damn, man, everything's dying. What's up?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was the bees.
So we're having to move 5 million bees up to this part of Canada, and the truck wrecks, right? So now they said the storm, you could not see the sky. There were so many bees out of their hives.
So probably 5 million or so.
5 million of them. And they had to basically put up a bee signal like the bat signal and get beekeepers from all over to go up there and get their hives back together so they don't do a hand count, but they suspect most of the 5 million made it back into their hives and everything's okay. Look at that.
So Scott's showing us the wreck of the truck, and that was all,
okay,
hey,
both
can
of
I
you
be
guys.
honest? Is that after the wreck, or was that how they were hauling those bees? Because
I would imagine you don't have to have a big
but they're loose.
Brett from New Mexico bee.
That's after the wreck.
Truck to drive
that's got to
the
be
bees
after
around.
the
That's
wreck.
after.
That was the cleanup. There's no way they were transporting bees to Canada on basically. Rodney next door has got a trailer we can hook to my F-150.
Okay, let me ask you guys, if you had the beekeeper suit on.
By the way, to Brown's point,
yeah,
if that is the way we're hauling them,
and
we're trying to save the world, will that get up?
Yeah, exactly.
We could have a military escort for these bees.
So beekeeper suit, we put 5 million bees in this studio, and you got to sleep the night. How much would it cost?
I'm in a beekeeper suit?
Yeah,
It'd
the
be a little
beekeeper
loud.
suit?
It'd be a little loud.
It would be loud. Yeah, 5 million.
I don't know if we get 5 million in here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. But I don't know how good.
Lance would have to have it. Dunaway pulled it off. Lance, we got to count.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want 4,365,000.
That's right.
Dunaway, you count them.
Okay, now,
Dunaway, you said we weren't going to do the bees on the show today.
Would you do it for $100,000? I would do it.
I mean, in that
100
suit,
100
they
Gs?
they can't steam you through that suit, right?
Yeah, famous last words.
Do I get that little cool smoke gun that they have
to calm them down?
I mean, you're not going to. I can't imagine what your senses are doing.
You're right. I'll have my own smoke.
I got to say this, too. Yeah. I got to say this, too, now that Scott shows us the split screen. Those boxes on the back of that trailer look like they went to Costco and got the tossed out boxes to put these bees in. This is some shoddy operation they got here. We're just on some random trailer behind an F-150, and we got boxes from outside Costco that we put the bees in. I don't trust this deal.
If this is as important to our existence as I'm told it is, we need a better plan.
Yeah, this is poor transport. I don't want to second guess them. I've never transported anything.
Which one's the bad DEFCON? DEFCON 1 or 5? Which one is it?
Lower number is the
DEFCON 1.
Yeah. So DEFCON 1 is a shitstorm, right?
That is right. Yes.
Okay, if we're anywhere above DEFCON 5 on the need of these bees, we need a better plan.
I haven't seen bit of honey in a store in years. I think they've
like
got it
bit of
at
honey.
Bass Pro Shops,
Yeah.
but I guarantee you how they transport the bit of honey is better than they transport the bees.
100%.
It looks like
wax
it,
paper. That's
I
it.
mean, Brett, I don't want to tell you about your business, Brett from New Mexico, but if you're listening, instead of driving through hurricane areas and mountains and stuff, it seems like you should be just going from the bee place to Canada, wherever the bees need to go on your truck, and you could save the world. You could be the superhero we always knew you could be, Brett.
That's right. Get those bees to Canada.
Just get those bees to Canada. When we come back, we will do the first look into our Pick 3. You can go play that right now at pick3.com. Excuse me, that would be a different website. Nextroundlive.com. Nextroundlive.com. Hit the Pick 3 icon. Or banner there is what Lunsford calls it. Just click on that and play the game real easy. Our friends at Odie's live music happening this weekend, and a great place to watch the games with great food as well.
Yeah, 2 locations now. The newest right there in Homewood. It's Broadway and Oxmoor is where it is. Used to be a Hud's grocery store. Used to go play video games after school at Edgewood Elementary there.
Looks
now
beautiful.
It's a bar. It is beautiful. It's actually got a picture of the 4 of us in it. I haven't actually been.
Oh, well, our photos up at Odie's?
Yeah.
Do I eat free?
I don't think you do.
Okay. Well, I still want to go see it.
But, yeah, you can go by and support for lunch or dinner.
Is it signed? Great food.
Yeah. Eli used to have those at every restaurant in Birmingham. I want that in Odie's.
Yeah.
Do you think that came with a free meal? Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll sign this 8x10.
That's right. I'd like some Mugu Gai Pan if you don't mind.
I was at ABC 3340 yesterday, and all I wanted was an autographed picture of Jeff Spiegel. I did not get one before I left.
Speak's hard to get to. Commoners can't get around Speak.
But Odie's, great place for live music tonight, tomorrow night, both locations, Crestline, Homewood. Stop in, enjoy those ice-cold beer buckets. Fabulous place, Birmingham Institution, Odie's Tavern.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. It's our friends at HydroLive. Mention Next Round at checkout, save 20% off any service. HydroLive's got 3 locations, Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
You hear a lot of interesting phrases while playing golf, like, I think you're on the beach, or the classic, you gotta hit it, Alice. One word you're sure to hear right now at Bentbrook Golf Club is wow. Brand new carts with complimentary GPS and the bent grass greens are so consistent, you just might drain a few more putts. Alice, tee it up and find out for yourself. Book around today at bentbrook.com or call 428-1999. It's better at Bentbrook.
You have all heard of Red Wing Shoes, but what is Red Wing Shoes? It's the place where men buy boots, plain and simple. Who are Red Wing's customers? They are construction workers, warehouse employees, college students, the guy that fixes your AC, the guy at the end of the bar, the IT guy. Red Wing is a father, Red Wing is a son, Red Wing is a cult following shared by all men. A classic, comfortable pair of cool boots with a story to tell. What's your Red Wing story? Red Wing Shoe Stores, located in Pelham and Trussville.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Okay, a little pick 3 conversation here and the song you've all waited for. Again, nextround.store. Nextround.store is where you go. And this year, pick 3, as always, brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Nextround.com. .store
Where'd
gets
I
you
go?
the clothing.
Did I say nextround.store?
You did, yeah.
Well, it's better. It's closer than pick3.com.
That's true, yes. Yeah. We at least own both of the ones. Nextround.com.
I'm going to need
Nextroundlive.com.
At some point, I'm going to need a card on this one, I think.
Yeah.
Nextround.com for the pick 3, which is brought to you, most importantly, Brownie, by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Nextroundlive.com.
Nextroundlive.com is the website.
10 locations in the Birmingham Central Alabama area, almost 20 years in the market, serving up the absolute best sports atmosphere and wings around. Place to be football Saturdays and Sundays, Buffalo Wild Wings. Takeout available through the Buffalo Wild Wings app as well.
We now officially have I don't know if we can say it, but more than 12 employees.
We're going to introduce a new employee on Tuesday. To the audience. Yes, you'll meet our newest number 13 on Tuesday.
So 13 is coming.
That's right.
Can someone not get the old guy a card with our website on it?
I think 12 gives you something every day. So could 12 include that?
But he doesn't do it until the end of the show. And and apparently the old guy needs it right now. Can you hit the song Rockstar? Let's do a little pick 3 conversation.
Pick three, it's time for the pick 3. 3 for you and 3 for me, that equals a pick 3. Say goodbye to your family, it's time for the pick 3. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick 3.
Just go right there to nextroundlive.com.
Boom, that way, Jimmy.
Comcast cable, as Bobby says.
Great. Cablevision. Great.
That's a good one, Bobby. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Great. That's the funniest part. The guy's like, I'm not going to correct him at all. Great.
We'll bounce around. You can play any this year, thanks in part to people like Bobby who hated the pod system where I had it potted out. You choose each pod and pick the 3 games there. Lunsford and I had a huge communication mishap last year, and we got too deep into it and had to do it that way. But he's got the technology ironed out. You go use some drop boxes, pick any Power 5 game you want for your pick 3s. And you can go do that at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com, brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. The games that you are looking at the most this weekend, lanceslock.com for all of Lance's play. He has to be very careful with his conversation about this. But Brown, I half joked about this, but there's a lot of people loving on Duke coming up on Monday night. Now, we only play Saturday games. You can't play that in the pick 3. There are certain games that pop for me. I thought Nebraska was going to win last night.
Well, they should have.
Straight up.
No, they should have won.
I wasn't worried about the 7. So that ended up covering, no problem at all. So if you start looking for a game on the board this weekend, which one jumps for you?
I've as far as a game that I'm most interested in, the Battle of the Carolinas for whatever reason. Now, Furman just made a case for an under on that game. And I have all along thought that game is going to be the track meet of the weekend of any significance. Like you may have some random game that's track meet, but of any significance, I felt like that's going to be the track meet of the weekend.
But if I asked you this, if I was coaching in that game and I was Shane Beamer,
all right,
and LT chime in here, and you got Drake May on the other side, would you want to you want to play your offense, but you want to be a little bit more deliberate and try to keep the ball out of Drake May's hand by slowing that game down a little bit? With these rules, you can slow it down some, and we saw 3-possession first half for Nebraska last night.
That's not really how Beamer's offense is, though. And when you get a hot Spencer Rattler, you let him let it fly.
That's right.
And I think against this defense, I'll believe North Carolina's defense, much like USC's, is fixed when I see it.
I'm with Lance on that. I don't believe they're fixed. I don't believe North Carolina's defense is fixed. I think South Carolina will be able to move the ball on them. But I think Drake May's good enough that he's going to have to try to play for play with him. That's why I see a high-scoring game in this one.
Okay, Boise State and Washington obviously is the one I like. That was my upset alert earlier this week. Is there a conversation that Boise State could be the best group of 5 team this year? We sort of have gotten away the last couple of years of thinking the Mountain West could have the best group of 5 team. We've focused a lot on the American.
Well, because of Cincinnati and Tulane,
that's right.
Which obviously Cincinnati's off to the Big 12 now. I guess there is a chance. I mean, if they win this game, if they beat Washington, who a lot of people have as a sneaky national championship contender and a Pac-12 contender.
Look, if they beat Washington, watch out for Boise State.
Yeah.
I think if they keep it close. You know, Taylon Green is a very unique quarterback, one that you really haven't seen in a Boise uniform, because he's a guy that he is a different dynamic. He's a guy that can rush for over 100 yards. And we really haven't seen that from a Boise quarterback, but he can do a lot of different things for that offense. Helani is one of the better running backs in college football, back for a 5th year. So they've got some weapons offensively, and Andy Avalos has done a really good job with that defense. 7 wins last year. I think they'll flirt with 10 wins this year. I think it's going to be a really good game. Now, I'm going to tell you, I will have Boise plus the points tomorrow.
You'll have Boise plus
that's going to be your free play tomorrow? Boise
I don't know if it'll
14?
be the free play, but I'm going to tell you it's going to be in the package. It might be the free play.
You like them that much?
I do, yeah.
LancesLock.com for all that, by the way.
So what game is, as much as you can tell me, that may not be one of your great plays?
Well,
Give me
I probably
one that's interesting.
I probably won't play it because I like to stay away from the 11 o'clock kicks. And there are, according to your sheet, at least 8 11 o'clock kicks.
All on CBS.
But that Colorado TCU game, I'm telling you, TCU should be free money. It's 20.5. I know Furman didn't love it because it was right at that 3 touchdown mark. But I just, I'm not going to go as far as Luganville did. Right. I just don't think this Colorado team is good at all.
Well, I mean, so let's play intangibles in this game, okay? Let's not talk necessarily about personnel on the field because I think we have done a lot of that. If I'm Sonny Dykes in this game, I am trying to ingrain in my team that we're not some flash in the pan that just happened to play for a national championship last year. We have built this culture. And I am also replacing my quarterback and my offensive coordinator. So what better way to drive that home to my team than to be as buttoned up, as impressive as I can offensively? I say all that to say, I wonder how much Sonny Dykes is going to lift off the pedal if he gets the lead in this game.
Yeah, I don't think he will because I think a lot of people nationally are going to be watching. And if I'm Sonny Dykes, I pull Chandler Morris in my office and I say, look, you were going to be on my starting quarterback last year. Max got the opportunity, did a great job for us, but I don't think anything would have been any different if you would have been the starting quarterback.
And you go show me that today.
Yep. That's what I would say to him.
And keep in mind that in the process of rebuilding Colorado, you've had Deion Sanders and his coaching staff, like a lot of programs that are big in the portal, try to come in and take some players. And where is Deion his most popular? As far as
in Dallas, yeah.
I mean, he's big in the Dallas area. Back in his, prime academy. He's got players that he coached when they were 5 years old, 6 years old, all the way up until he stopped doing that. Deion is a strong recruiter in Texas, and who could he hurt long term, recruiting wise? Could hurt a program like TCU. This is a big game for Sonny Dykes, and I wonder, like you, if you games in hand. Do you send a statement? Do you try to put a little gap between you and Deion on the recruiting trail?
He did it to Oklahoma last year.
Yeah, he did. And Sonny Dykes, they made the playoffs without even winning their conference last year. So I think, it's not like he's got to, if they win that conference, they should be in the playoffs again. But, I mean, the human reaction is to look at the fact that we finished basically number 2 last year, and we start this year ranked in the teens. I mean, they dropped us 15 spots. I'm going to go out and prove they're wrong. And I've got a national stage. Sonny Dykes ain't an idiot. He knows everybody's going to be watching this game because of Deion Sanders.
Yeah, look, and talking to Tom Luganville, he said TCU, and this was 2 weeks ago, the first Spitting Lugs. So I guess it was last week. He said, people think TCU's not going to be good this year. They're going to be really good. Now, with all that said, I still believe you had every one of those one-possession games go their way. That's not going to happen again this year. They can be really good at 8-4. And I think that's probably what's going to happen. But I think they will stomp the dog shit out of Colorado.
I did it again last night. I poured a nice chicken cock because I enjoyed the game. It's a great
I did too.
Rye whiskey is the one I'm drinking right now. It's a great little pour to watch a little college football. I drink mine neat. You can drink your chicken cock any way you want to.
Look, I had the regular bourbon. Again, you can get either one of those, the bourbon or the rye. I love both. Got both in my cabinet. We've got both behind the bar here in our green room. Chicken Cock Whiskey, one of the oldest whiskey brands in America, founded in 1856 in Bourbon County, Kentucky, known as the famous old brand. Look, you can get the bourbon and rye, again, carried in the Alabama stores. All expressions, though, are available for special order at your local ABC store. To order online, go to chickencockwhiskey.com.
More college football coming up in the next segment. But last night, in LT, you've been keeping up with this. You knew it was coming, and it happened early on a grand slam. Ronald Acuna last night becomes the first player ever to have 30 home runs and 60 stolen bases in a season. And as everyone pointed out, he did it in August. It's now September 1, but he did it on August the 31st. There's a full month of the regular season left. He's a 60-30 or a 30-60 guy. However you want to play it, that guy is amazing.
Yeah, look, and Mookie Betts, we talked about this, and that was a fun game to watch last night because Atlanta was dominating early. Dodgers came back, made it a dramatic game there in the bottom of the ninth. Mookie Betts goes yard again. Mookie Betts got 51 hits in the month of August.
Well, it's that month that, as Buster pointed out yesterday, Buster Olney from ESPN, who joins us each week, that Vegas has now made him the favorite for the MVP because of that month.
Yeah, I think Acuna will still win the MVP. I think Acuna kind of deserves it. I mean, Mookie's lineup around him is just incredible, too. I mean, both are having outstanding years, but I think you can make the argument Ronald Acuna, best player on the planet right now.
Did I hear that he hit 451 in August? Was it that much?
Who? Mookie
Betts.
Yeah.
451
Yeah.
against Major League pitching.
He is lights out right now.
Yeah. I mean, I knew he had a good August.
Back to Acuna, the second fastest ever to 150 home runs, 150 stolen bases, next to Mike Trout.
Wow. And at one point, Buster was calling Trout a generational guy. There you go. Acuna and Mookie in the same stadium the rest of the weekend, Braves and Dodgers. If you're not watching football and that game's on, put it on one of the screens. It's good. You'll probably see it again in the postseason coming up. Rockstar's Viewer Menu every day brought to you by our friends at New Life Art. Before LT tells us about New Life and what Rockstar is watching, I did not know this, but the Eras Tour with Taylor Swift, there's a film, and I knew eventually there'd be something on Hulu.
Finally, she's going to get some money from this?
Yep.
October 13th, it shows up in AMC theaters, and they expect such big ticket sales at AMC theaters, October 13th, for the Eras Tour, that the new Exorcist movie actually moved up its date yesterday to the week before so they would not get swallowed up in the box office.
That's not going to make any money anyway. That's fine. I don't think they have anything to worry
So the
about.
Lunsfords would have had to make a decision. If they
Exorcist or Taylor Swift Eras.
Now they don't have to worry about
That's right. Don't have to make that tough decision.
I guess there'll be, I don't know what will be in this movie, but they're expecting it to be like just about anything she does, have some box office success.
Full throttle?
I don't think it'll be any of that. Tell us about our friends at New Life.
Artist Daniel Moore has announced that Masterwork in Oils, A Legacy continues. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting. The Crimson Legacy features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute, sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. You can order online now, DanielMooreArt.com. That's DanielMooreArt.com.
We finally have them reunited. Denzel and Dakota Fanning.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is kind of cool, though.
Yeah, he saved her life that
Creasy
one time.
Bear.
How old is she now?
She's probably
college
28.
elite, yeah, past college. Well, anyway, they're coming out with Equalizer 3, which, wow. And the trailer, Denzel's looking old. It's sad.
That's what Spitting Lugs, we talked about Equalizer 3 a little bit. And I told him, I was like, I love me some Denzel. And Denzel's great in everything he does, but he looked old in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I just don't want him to be pushed like Liam Neeson and doing these action movies at 70. Because Denzel, Liam now has been typecast. But Liam, people will forget in Schindler's List, he was fantastic. He was nominated for Best Actor.
Action films till he was 60.
I know, but I don't want Denzel to go that path. Denzel's too good of an actor.
Yeah.
And then you got a triple header, a comedy triple header on HBO Comedy tonight, starting at 7 p.m. You got Tommy Boy, followed by Tommy Boy 2, Black Sheep, and then Team America, World Police.
I finally saw that a few months ago.
Team
It is
America?
hilarious.
It's one of the funniest movies. It was so uncomfortable.
Watching it with the boys, and I didn't realize you had a bunch of sex scenes with puppets.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's Ventriloquist. It's a great movie by the guys from South Park.
Isn't that how they teach the sex, though?
I don't know. I will tell
It's
you.
always
They
been
go
the line I've
crazy.
used. Do
Yeah.
I need to get the puppets out
Yeah.
before you go on your
It
honeymoon,
is
Rockstar?
Freaking hilarious.
That's what Rockstar.
America.
F yeah, man.
New Life Art brings you that every day. When we come back, more college football and then Rockstar's Playhouse, part of football conversation at the top of the hour on TNR.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
When the weather gets warm in the Deep South, there's nothing better than spending your days outside. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. When you're outside, there are a couple of things you want to be certain about. Number one, your yard looks the best it can. And number two, you're not always swatting away those mosquitoes. My friends at Wayne's take care of both those things for me. And Wayne's is celebrating their 50th year. So right now, get $50 off your pest, your termite, your lawn, and your mosquito services. Visit callwaynes.com or call 866-WAYNES-1. Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
DryTech Water Restoration is a locally owned company that specializes in mold remediation, fire and water damage cleanup, and SteraMist services. DryTech's goal is to provide clients with expert guidance when dealing with any home disaster. DryTech's highly trained specialists are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They will work closely with you and your insurance company to make sure the process is stress-free as possible. Call DryTech today, 205-637-0143. The moment you discover damage to your home, DryTech's team will handle the rest.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies, get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store, that's nextround.store.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Guys, if you notice the dry erase board's coming out, pick 3, our version of it. You can go play at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com. We'll be writing down our 3 picks for the final segment of the show coming up today. And we'll get our picks out on the air officially for the weekend. Brown Bandits on Tuesday, but
I had North Texas. North Texas is what the Brown Bandit had, plus the 6.5.
I liked Boise State. We'll see if any of those plays come back in. Show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Bromberg's. Tell us about Bromberg's, LT.
They are your diamond specialist. If you've been thinking about popping the question, you need to go see our friends at Bromberg's. 2 locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit, family owned and operated since 1836. Bromberg's has established that solid reputation as a fine purveyor of quality diamonds as well as jewelry, timepieces, and gifts. Bromberg's also has an extensive giftware department to service the registry of brides and grooms. Make sure you visit the 2 locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit. You can also shop online, brombergs.com.
All right, as we continue the football conversation, Nick Saban last night on Hey Coach. Rockstar, if you'll give me cut number 3. Tom Hart of the SEC Network was the guest analyst, the guest last night on Hey Coach with our friends at Baumhauer's over there in Tuscaloosa. Eli Gold's in the picture as well. And the conversation is, of course, about quarterbacks here. Here's how it went last night on Hey Coach.
Now, Eli and Chris are going to split home and road, right?
Yeah.
Have you given any thought to starting one quarterback for home games and another one for road games?
Not really.
I didn't think so.
The quarterback who plays on Saturday, that's the quarterback for Saturday.
Yeah.
And the life of a quarterback, on any quarterback, depends on how they perform. So if a guy plays well, that's what creates security at that position. And if you don't play well, because the first thing everybody does when you have success, the quarterback gets a lot of credit, but also when things don't go well, the first guy they point at is the quarterback. So a guy's got to understand that the way he performs is really, really important. And all 3 guys have made significant improvement. We'd like to play more than one guy in the game. So I've told the guy that's going to start the game that we want you to play well enough so we have an opportunity to play other guys at the position because that's important for us. So we just have to go. But this is not, whoever starts the game, it's not their job in perpetuity because they have to perform well. And because they don't have a lot of experience, I think we're all interested in seeing how they all perform.
All right, that's Nick Saban last night on Hey Coach. Brown, that's the first question of 4 downs. Do you want to save your comment for that, or do you have information that will not take away my 4-down question?
I think I have information. I don't know. I don't know your question. Do you want me to save it for 4 downs?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Let's wait, because I've got a question too, and I think it might be one of yours.
There's a perception in Tuscaloosa that Nick Saban, that a lot of people have told us, kind of behind the scenes, that Nick Saban somewhat confirmed there. That's all I was going to bring up. So
Okay.
I don't know how that applies to 4 downs.
Well, mine's about a game total. So
Okay, no.
Okay.
So the perception out of Tuscaloosa.
Quarterback total?
Yeah.
All right, the perception out of Tuscaloosa, there was this perception that a lot of people we trust behind the scenes have told us, is that Jalen Milroe is going to start this game out of the way Nick Saban has almost always operated. Is it's like next guy up, right? You're the backup last year. You got the chance to start.
You've earned this opportunity.
But the Texas starter is going to be determined in this game, right? Nobody separated themselves enough to be kind of the Texas starter in the preseason. So he's going to be determined in this game. And Nick Saban kind of confirmed that right there, right? He said, we're going to evaluate in this game, and it may not be the same guy that starts this game.
And so let's get to our 4 downs today. Kind of like Blake Barnett. You're right, Patrick. Ended up being Jalen Hurts even before that game was over with. 4 downs is brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, 4 great locations. Weekend is here. Kick it off. Stop by Slice. Enjoy an incredible lunch or dinner. 4 locations, the original in Lakeview, one in Vestavia, Montevallo, now Crestline Park. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
Most total yards for quarterback in the Alabama game. Alabama quarterback most total yards in this game. Who do you think it'll end up being?
Jalen Milroe. He's going to get the start. I think he'll at least play a quarter and a half, maybe even a full half. And Alabama's going to take the foot off the pedal a little bit in the second half. So I'll go Jalen Milroe.
Well, that doesn't sound like it's going to be a fair competition.
No,
if I'm still
I
judging.
agree.
Yeah.
But I mean, and Milroe also is that dual threat guy.
Yeah.
So
I think it'll be Milroe, but I don't necessarily think that means he starts the Texas game. I think they can evaluate it. I think they know what they're looking for out of Ty Simpson. They know what they're looking for out of Dylan Lonergan. They know what they're looking for out of Tyler Buckner. So you can put those guys in that position to see, okay, can he do what I need him to do without necessarily running the score up against Middle Tennessee, if that makes any sense.
I'll go back to what Dan Mullen said earlier this week. He believes it's going to all season long be a Leak Tebow-like situation for Nick Saban, that Nick Saban has adjusted so many times in his time at Alabama that this will be another adjustment, that Milroe will have a package and somebody else will have plays too. We'll see how it works out. I, too, will go with Milroe. Tyler says it just looks like he's a different guy this year, owns the huddle a little bit, and that's always big with Nick Saban. Let's do second down.
Second down.
More total points. Excuse me. More total points this weekend. UCLA late night against Coastal Carolina. Grayson McCall's still there, right?
Grayson McCall is there.
Yeah, he's at Coastal. He did not follow Jamie Chadwell to Liberty.
Under the radar there. Or Iowa, who, remember, has to score 325 total points this year for Brian Ferentz not to get fired.
You get me Chip Kelly or Brian Ferentz. I'm taking Chip Kelly and UCLA. Look,
even against a better opponent.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still Utah State, and I think Iowa will try to score as many points as they can whenever they can score those points to save that job. But I'll still go UCLA here.
The total in the UCLA Coastal game is 66.5. I bet Iowa hasn't played a game with a total of 66.5 in a decade. So I think I, too, will go UCLA, but
it's 43.5 for Iowa.
43.5 is the total. Yeah. So I'm going to go UCLA based on that number.
Third down.
Men's Health did an interview with Joe Montana, and he says, don't get lost in greatest of all time and best quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
He said, I appreciate you guys calling me the greatest of all time, but best quarterback of all time, in Joe Montana's opinion, to Men's Health, is Dan Marino. One game to save your life, Joe Montana or Dan Marino?
Joe Montana.
Is that game in the Super Bowl or is that a regular season game? The game's in the Super Bowl, I'll take Joe Montana.
Because he makes a point. Look, greatest and best, but he said Dan Marino could do things I could not do.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to argue that, right?
You
wouldn't even argue that.
No.
Dan Marino was
technically. Yeah.
He's the more talented quarterback.
You would still go Joe Montana.
I would actually go Joe Burrow or Pat Mahomes.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
Or maybe Matt Stafford, only one receiver, one drive to win a Super Bowl.
Now,
you guys witnessed it.
I haven't read the whole article. I just got a snippet of it all. Nowhere in that conversation did I see Tom Brady. So I wonder how Montana feels about Brady.
It sounds like he doesn't really like Brady breaking all his records.
Yeah, let's do fourth down.
Fourth down.
Oh, okay. If I say
It's yours, Jim.
I had to read the writing.
Yep.
If I said the phrase Brotox.
That's dudes getting Botox.
Tuesday afternoons for me.
Dudes getting Botox.
Uh-huh.
If you had to get one plastic surgery, by the way, dudes getting Botox up 182% since the pandemic. Brotox. If you had to get one plastic surgery, what would it be? Around the table. Rockstar, you first.
Of course. Can you get tanner skin without getting burned?
Probably.
Spray tan.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's not really plastic surgery.
Just makes me orange.
Yeah.
It doesn't look
Oh,
well.
you've tried.
Oh, you've done that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Nancy had those. I had to do something where she just did those wipes on me where you smell like a hotbed of piss.
Would you like some hotbed of piss
yeah,
wipes?
it was, and she just wiped them on me. This smells putrid. And like laying in bed, I was like, something smells awful. Honey, it's you. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So,
Fantastic.
I already got great abs. I would do abs then. Me and Donna, we could go in together.
Yeah.
That's not where I'm going, Rockstar. What about you?
Oh, no, you're going penile. What?
I would probably, I've always had bags under my eyes. I mean, I don't really care, but if I'm having to have plastic surgery, I'd probably address that. You can do the plastic surgery that gets rid of the bags on the eyes. Though, I've used that disco stick, like I think you do. I think it's helped.
Yeah. I don't use it. I'm using the Caldera Lab products.
Yeah.
TNR.
Yeah.
Promo code.
Promo code TNR. If you had to have one plastic surgery,
Probably a junk reduction.
reduction.
8th grade.
Hey, look who it is.
Dr. B. Speaking of plastic
Surprise!
surgery.
Wow.
I
didn't know it was going to be this
Did you know he was coming in?
I did not.
Oh, bullshit.
I did not.
How is that possible? I haven't seen
kismet.
Dr. B up here in months.
Kismet, man. It just works.
Kismet.
Yeah.
Hey, one of our good friends went to see Dr. B this morning.
I would do pec augmentation.
Peacocks?
I
Look
need
at Dr. B
pecs.
standing behind Dunaway.
I want bigger titties.
Hey, Dunaway's up first, Dr. B. Let's go. Yeah. What is that?
He's got a hat that says tit builder.
Yeah. He can do it for you. Why don't you just do some push-ups?
Oh, wow. Push-ups are just some implanted Dr. B 34Cs for the boy.
34C.
You don't do that with men. That's 4 Downs brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Again, 4 great locations. If you don't want to dine in, they've got that incredible carry-out special. It's available 7 days a week. You get the 12 fire-baked wings. You get the 2 specialty pizzas, half pan of the salad. It's only $75. Available at all 4 locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
We're about to go talk to the old Tata Builder here in just a second. Tell us about Dr. B as we get to the top of the hour here. Dr. B is the guy that, take that hat off. Let's see under there. It's all matted down.
It's all matted, but
look how, I mean, this guy was virtually me. He was going bald, and look at that hair now. It's all thanks to our man, Dr. B.
Yeah, I'm not going to say who it is because I don't know if they're actually comfortable with me talking about it on the air, but one of our good friends said, I'm in Dr. B's office right now. I'm going to be a hair model soon enough.
Wow, the old hair model.
That was this morning. Take my advice.
Do I know him or her?
Oh, yeah. Both of you guys know. Okay. Everybody up here knows. T3hair.net, 205-319-0316. Again, when I started to thin out, I asked around. I didn't know Dr. Beckenstein. Everybody said Dr. B is the guy you need to go see. My hair has more than doubled since treatment began. Make the phone call that I made. Make sure you ask for that consultation. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-319-0316, T3hair.net. Again, 3 times a week I do the non-invasive treatment sitting on my couch. It's that simple. T3hair.net or 205-319-0316.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
For 50 years, our friends at Wayne's have been doing things around your house that you don't have time to do. Warm weather is coming. You want that lawn looking great. You want mosquitoes not around. Our friends at Wayne's, they can help you out. Right now, they will do $50 off for each of those services to continue to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Again, our friends at Wayne's, they take care of all of us here on the next round. You don't want those mosquitoes. You want the lawn looking great. Call them today, 866-WAYNES1 or call Waynes.com. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy, all under one roof. It's our friends at Hydra Live Therapy. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, and boost your immune system, and more. If you mention the Next Round at checkout, save 20% off any service. You can join the IV League today. Members are rewarded with deep discounts. Make sure you ask about that. Hydra Life Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com. You've heard us rave about our friends at Legacy. Now I want to tell you about their everyday checking. How about this? No monthly fees, no minimum balance. One of the great perks, get paid 2 days early with direct deposit, instant issue debit cards. And there are some additional perks on top of that with the digital banking app. Absolutely love checking that. The official credit union of UAB, our friends at Legacy, dedicated service to education and healthcare industries for more than 60 years. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Don't miss your chance to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Open 24/7, so come on in for non-stop gaming action. You'll find the latest, hottest, most exciting games around. And you'll love the fun bonuses and big jackpots. Plus, you can watch and wager on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. Your best bet for big wins is just minutes away at Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where you can be a winner too. Birmingham Racecourse Casino off I-459, exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Rockstar's Playhouse coming up live in this segment in about 10 minutes. We'll get to that coming up. Later on, we've got Trash and our Pick 3 picks, all to go in the final hour of our Friday show. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, that's Ryan Brown over there, Rockstar, Forrester, Tyler, Lunsford on the back row. Lunsford's beautiful wife's here, probably brought treats as she always does.
Of course she did.
Yes.
It's Cookie Friday, man.
It is Cookie Friday back there.
Yeah.
Everyone's eating the cookies back there. LT and I supporting the Dr. B hats here.
You volunteered.
I volunteered to to work on the assembly line. Speaking of nice breast, my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster, open for lunch today. As I always tell you, I'm a 2-breast guy when I go in there. Love the big, thick breast, the white meat there, all the wonderful sides. Start off with a little Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, champy'schicken.com. Perfect for your tailgate. And if you're heading to Jordan-Hare or Bryant-Denny this weekend, maybe a protective stadium in the future after UAB's big win last night, take some Champy's Chicken or take it home to watch the game. Sterling and the crew, Highway 119 in Alabaster. It is champy'schicken.com. Big story today is the fallout in Florida with Billy Napier in Florida getting beat last night on Utah. LT, listen, it was a loss. I don't think anybody is surprised by the loss. Utah was number 14 in the country, and Florida was picked to barely make a bowl game if they made a bowl game at all. But I think it's the way they ended up losing the game, the way they looked in the loss. You can lose a game and look good. You can lose a game and look bad, and then you can lose a game where you look badly coached.
Yep.
And last night they looked badly coached.
Well, I thought they looked bad, on both sides of the ball. I mean, first play from scrimmage, a former walk-on backup quarterback, Bryson Barnes, goes up top. And, hits a 70
yards.
Yeah.
First play.
Yeah, 70-yard touchdown to Money Parks. And then on the other side, they give up 5 sacks. Graham Mertz throws the football 44 times. People said, Florida, it's going to be about their toughness this year. It's going to be about them running the football, dominating the line of scrimmage. They ran for all of 13 yards with 2 very capable and experienced backs in Etienne and Johnson. So if I'm a Florida fan, I'm just like, because I told you guys going into this game, it's one of the reasons I stayed away from it. I could see Florida go 9-3 based on all the offseason hype and what Billy Napier's saying, the right stuff. I could see them go 3-9. They look like the 3-9 version.
They did. Austin Armstrong making his debut as defensive coordinator. That's the guy that was on Alabama's staff for a minute that a lot of people thought Nick Saban had hired as the understudy for Kevin Steele to, come coach at Alabama a year or two like Pete Golding did and then take over as defensive coordinator. It's only one game. But after one game, I think a lot of people are like, if that was the plan, I am glad it did not work out.
Okay, but
and that may be unfair. But
one play, and then it's 17 points after that, and his offense wasn't helping him at all. Brown, these 2 offensive numbers jump out. 4 trips to the red zone, they got 10 points, Florida did.
They did.
4 trips to the red zone, they got 10 points. They were 0 of 9 on third downs until they finally got their first third down conversion in the fourth quarter when the game was out of hand. So on third down plays, money plays, 0 of 9 in that game. You don't win with that kind of third down conversion.
Yeah, and
rate.
overall they were 1 of 13. I mean, that's pathetic. But, back to what you said, you take away the Money Parks touchdown, and the defense wasn't, awful. I mean,
they weren't, but then
they were in trouble all night because their offense was not helping them out.
They only give up, 200 and right at 200 yards. You take that play away.
Yeah, but you're right. You can't take the play. You're right. You can't take it away. But then I can give you another play, too. There was and I'm not going to remember the exact scenario here, but there's a third down. Utah has got a kid out to practice early, hits him right in the hands, and he drops it. I mean, they had receivers running open. I did not think it looked like a good defense last night.
And keep in mind, it was not their starting quarterback. It was their second
two backups.
Yeah, second and third string quarterbacks that were out there playing. So that is a fair statement on that one. In the other game, Matt Rule seems like he helped Nebraska take a step forward, you'd think, because with 5:21 to play, they were going to win the game. But then it just happened like it has happened recent years with Nebraska. They lead the FBS in the last 2 years in 1 week now of 1 possession losses. Losses from Purdue to Georgia Southern to last night again. It's a mind-boggling number.
Do you know the number? I've got it.
I think
the
it's
last 31. This goes back to the start of the Scott Frost era. They've had 31 single possession games, 1 possession games. How many have they won out of 31?
So that's longer than 2 years. The 2-year number, I think, is 2-14.
Okay,
I think
that might be right.
I think they're 4-27.
It's 7. They have won 7 of 31.
1 possession
One
games.
possession games.
Well, I think
that's almost impossible.
I think they're 2-14 in their last 16 possession games.
You know what the difference is? They haven't had good quarterback play.
Yep.
They really haven't.
But how good did Jeff Sims look on some
At
plays?
times, yeah.
And then how horrible was he on other plays?
He can't throw the football. He just can't.
They had open receivers.
Yeah.
To Satterfield, who calls the plays. Credit, had some open receivers behind the Utah secondary, who was a good secondary. They were open, and he underthrew them every time.
Lance, I'll tell you where they lost the game. And I know it's
the fumble at 5:21.
Yeah, Gabe Irvin. No, the Gabe Irvin fumble was the difference.
Oh, it was. But going back to the end of the half, they're down inside the red zone. They think they scored. It does not get overturned in review.
Oh.
And then they come back and Jeff Sims throws that interception in the end zone.
Oh. Backbreaker.
That is such a low-scoring game. You got to come away with 3 points.
And who jumps off sides? It was either the left tackle, the tight end, or both of them. And LT, we're on the half-yard line. What play we're going to run? I'm going to be right behind you. You're the center.
Yeah.
I'm Big Jeff Sims.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get right up on your butt, and we're just going to fall forward. The tight ends aren't going to do anything. They're not going to do anything.
Yeah, why is the tight end moving?
Yeah.
Stand up, you just stand there.
220 pounds. That's a touchdown.
Yeah. Make sure
but that's where you lose the game when you come away from the red zone in a game, which, by the way, 13 points ended up winning that game. You knew it at the time. It's 7-0 at the time, I think, or 7-3, and you don't get the field goal coming out of there. I mean, that's just stuff like that. It adds up.
That's the one that got me. Make sure audio's got to be on every time we show that little clip there from now on. Me, LT, and I taking the snap and falling forward to the end zone.
Always.
Audio's got to be on all the time.
All right, audio on Rockstar.
Audio off. Got it.
Rockstar's Playhouse coming up in just a second. Michelson Laser Vision, part of the show today.
205. I was just talking about Dr. Mark Michelson.
Were you? Is he
in
gonna-
the
is he
live.
gonna
I was
walk
talking
it
to Dr.
off?
B about him.
It's
No,
amazing. You talk about stuff that I said.
Hey, would you talk about sliced pizza real
Yeah,
quick?
I will. I was talking about that last night.
Okay.
No, but I was talking to Dr. B about it because we were talking about, look, you get what you pay for. And I've heard of people getting LASIK in the back of a truck. That is
What?
no lie. Yeah, people shopping around. Can I
Does
get
not
the
seem
best
smart.
deal out there? Trust me. It's your eyes. You want to go to the best. And if you ask around, again, if you're in Chicago, if you're in Austin, Texas, and you're like, I'm in Alabama, I need LASIK, they're going to say Dr. Mark Michelson. He's a pioneer. First to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama back in 1995. Dr. Jen Michelson, she's there. They're the best in the business. Again, I had the 2200 vision. I now have 2015 vision, better than 2020. Call 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation, zero to lose, to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Josh in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. First, Brian, late to the show, who is the tip builder? Josh says, Dr. B is the tip builder. I've sampled his work. Very nice. That's tip of the cap to you, Dr. B there.
I've sampled his work.
All right, so here we go. It is time for Rockstar's Playhouse every Friday at this time, where Rockstar gets us ready for the weekend. Sometimes it's game-related. Sometimes it's not. We had Gary the Gator introduced to us for the first time years ago on a cocktail party weekend. He's been here frequently before. It's brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, I'm now being told. Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg from Pell City. You can get them on Facebook.
You surprised me, I surprised you.
Yeah, it really puts us against the wall now, but I really love Greg from Pell City. Not against the wall, on the roof is what Greg from Pell City will do. 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531 for that free no-cost roof inspection, or just on Facebook, it is Greg from Pell City. All right, hit it, boys. Playhouse.
Rockstar Playhouse, it's a Rockstar Playhouse, it's a Rockstar Playhouse, come out and play. Rockstar Playhouse, it's a Rockstar Playhouse, it's a Rockstar Playhouse, come out and play.
Let's have some fun.
Oh, that sounds swell.
Hey,
Hey, who is it?
It's me again, Andrew Dice Clay Travis.
Yes, one of my favorites.
Oh, I'm here to tell you boys how to run a media empire. Look, I remember the times when I was just an attorney / author / scholar / role model who barely had 1 million fans. Back then, only a few thousand people would come to my signings. Boy, those were dark days. So believe me, I know what it's like to look at what is only potential. See, I was over there. I was over there.
Yeah.
Now I'm here. I'm here now.
Where were you?
I'm here now. I was over there.
Yeah.
I was way over there. I'm here now. Hey.
Hey.
What are you laughing at, buddy? What are you laughing at? You look like the type of guy that wore a mask in 2020. That's what you look like. Was you one of those ones? Huh? Well, let me talk in your language, your native language. That you?
I was a sheep. I was a sheep.
You are a sheeple. Hey, here we go. I got some little motivational rhymes Dice Clay Travis wrote in a bathroom at Mar-a-Lago.
Name dropping.
1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, knock at the door. 5, 6, help me count the money I've made throughout kick.
Not the manager of Outkick anymore,
That's
unless
right.
it benefits him.
Yeah,
Then
it's kind of mailbox money at this point, right? Yeah.
It's in a bank account. The itsy bitsy spider crawled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And just like that, Dice Clay Travis bought another plane. You see me? I was over there. I was over there.
Where are you now?
Now I'm here.
That's right.
I'm here now. I'm here now. Ba, Dice Clay. Do your bets have any pull? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm now a mogul. 1 on the Masters, 1 on the Dame, and 1 for the Cowboys, and then 1 on Kiffin, called Lane.
Actually, that was really well written.
Thank you. This old man, he played one. He played knick-knack on my thumb with a knick-knack paddywhack clay sails on a yacht. No one thinks that was a real mugshot.
Rockstar Playhouse, it's a Rockstar Playhouse, it's a Rockstar Playhouse, come out and play. Rockstar Playhouse, it's a Rockstar Playhouse, it's a Rockstar Playhouse, come out and play.
Brought to you by Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City there. Again, 205-542-3531. Or Greg from Pell City on Facebook, Storm Restoration Roofing. A little political Trump arrest.
Oh, really? Is that what that was? The mugshot?
Yeah,
Clay didn't get arrested.
Clay, yeah, absolutely. All right, Rockstar, fantastic week one. Much better than some program showed us. No buyout for you. You've got to coach all season, not like Billy Napier.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah,
All right. Do I have a buyout like that, though?
Yeah, buy me out.
Yeah.
Buy me out. Let me get out of here. All right. When we come back, we will do a little bit more of the pick three. Later, we'll show you our picks, and then trash. Still to come on the show that's brought to you by our friends at AA Plus Roofing.
A Plus, they don't get on the roof. They do everything under the roof.
Excuse me, A Plus Repair.
Got you. Tile and remodeling, A Plus Tile and Remodeling. Listen, you got a bath or shower or a kitchen that is outdated. Well, we did too. We did not like our bathroom at our house. We bought the house. We're going to redo the bathroom. It was all white and bright. We kind of wanted the darker colors. So my wife, Jennifer, scoured the internet. She talked to people that had used certain contractors. She talked to the contractors themselves. She got bids. I am so glad she did, because we picked Brad Bell, A Plus Tile and Home Remodeling, and he came in and he matched our vision. We wanted some of the darker colors, and it looked absolutely fantastic now. His crews, they worked efficiently. They were on time. His bid was so much better than anyone else we asked. We were just blown away by everything. There was absolutely nothing in this I would change. Nothing at all that I would change with A Plus Tile Home Remodeling. You can use them as well. 205-422-1758. That is 205-422-1758. Master Bath and Kitchen. You're looking at Lance's bathroom there. Went from darker to lighter for him. Just shows you what he will do there. Brad Bell. Master Bath and Kitchens, where you get your money back when you sell your house. So use Brad for that. A Plus Tile Home Remodeling. 205-422-1758.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
It's NBA time, Birmingham, as we hoop it up with the New Orleans Pelicans and Houston Rockets, October 12th at Legacy Arena. Single game tickets are now available. Visit BirminghamSquadron.com or call 205-719-0850 for more information or to buy tickets. And the game is packed with former local players like Herb Jones and Kyra Lewis Jr. and Jabari Smith, and other superstars like Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. You can also become a Squadron season ticket holder to get complimentary tickets to this huge event right here in the Magic City. The Pelicans preseason game in Birmingham sold out last year, so get your tickets as soon as possible. Do that online at BirminghamSquadron.com or by calling 205-719-0850. October 12th, it's the Pelicans and Rockets at Legacy Arena right here in Birmingham. BirminghamSquadron.com. We've partnered with Who Is Coffee to create the Next Round blend. Available in light, medium, and dark roast. 100% Arabica beans. Specialty coffee roasted on demand, available in whole bean or ground for drip pods. Espresso and coarse ground for French press. Go to nextround.store to get a link to pre-order today. Everyone that pre-orders will be entered to win a prize pack with coffees, shirts, hats, and tumblers. Nextround.store for the Next Round blend. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. And don't forget about that 29-degree man-sized drafts. It's Twin Peaks at the Patton Creek Shopping Centers. Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
It's time to get out and enjoy the summer of 2023. Ocean City, Maryland, and your hotel family at Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City is ready to welcome you. Kayak from our Bayside Beach, swim in the Atlantic, dine at our Bayview Bar and Grill, span the 2.5-mile-long Ocean City Boardwalk, and a lot more. See all this plus irresistible summer deals and packages online at residenceInOC.com. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Do something different this summer. Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City, Maryland.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Hey, it's our first Friday show with our new format platform. Remember, disrupt the media. Go like, subscribe, everything. War Dam Pods, like and subscribe. Roll Tide Pods, like and subscribe. Everything over at Disrupt the Media, like and subscribe. Set your alerts so you get all the new information that's out. We'll record a new Mystery Fifth Hour later today. I say that, Rockstar, because you need to have the Pick 3 music ready to go again in this segment, because we're going to move that up here, because we have to do our Monday's headlines today in the final segment coming up after trash. So a lot still to get to today. Headline time in just a second. But first, LT, tell us about our friends at Hemphill.
Hemphill right now still offering that incredible deal, 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus free 10-year labor warranty. When you mention the Next Round, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure that HVAC unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Call 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
All right, let's make some picks this weekend. Remember, you can go to nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com, and play the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3. LT will tell us about B-dubs in a second. Great place to watch the game, but Rockstar, hit the song.
Pick three, it's time for the pick three. 3 for you and 3 for me, that equals a pick 3. Say goodbye to your family, it's time for the pick 3. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick 3.
All right, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Brownie, start us off with your 3 plays.
All right, I've got a 10-unit play coming up here. We're going to start with the small ones at the top, though. Iowa minus the 23.5. I think they're on a mission to score points. Get them early as you can. USC minus the 38.5. They're going to get the advantage of having played a game already to make their corrections when Nevada has not. So USC minus 38.5. And then get them Jays up, y'all. Get them Jays up for the Jags.
Get them up.
The originators of Mardi Gras going to the fake Mardi Gras to get the old dub, South Alabama, plus the 6.5. That's my 10-unit play right there. How about that Jag right there? And then very artistically designed, the tip of the A is one of his teeth.
Yeah, no, I see that. It's very, very good. Is Anna Kate making the trip to New Orleans?
No. That's a negative.
Yeah, I would agree. If Layton was still down there, I'd be like, no.
That's a hard no.
That's a lot for your first week in college.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's a lot. Pledge from you, go to New Orleans in 1 week. Oh, let's pull it back.
Let's tip that down a little bit. Yeah.
All right, here's LT's 3 plays.
Boise State. I said it earlier. No. I really like the Broncos here. Again, they're going to give Washington fits defensively. Boise State's going to be one of the best running teams in all of college football. I like UTSA. Again, you can't get to 11-1 if you don't win number one.
You're absolutely right, Lance.
Yeah, so
technically you can get to 11-1 if you lose the first one, but then you got to win the next 11.
I think you're getting some value here. I think there's too much hype on the uniforms for Houston. Frank Harris, big game there. And then Toledo plus 9.5. Toledo's going to be a tough out this year. Illinois points will be at a premium for Brett Bielema's squad. I like Toledo catching 9.5. And don't be surprised if the Rockets pull the upset.
What?
Pull the upset.
The upset, Lance? Toledo?
bad
Yeah,
loss.
you remember my pocket rocket I drew earlier?
I do remember that.
Yeah. Hickory Tickory.
Going.
Jim's got a big play. Right
Hickory
here.
Tickory.
Hickory Tickory. Yeah, better words.
I'm going to use some big points. Oklahoma, coming off of not a great year, will win this game easily against Butch Jones, but I think it's too many points. I like Butch Jones, Arkansas State, plus the 35 from mybookie.ag, plus the 35 with mybookie.ag. My upset alert was Boise, not to copy LT. I like Boise inside the 14.5. And then I'm going to lay a lot of points. You have to do this occasionally in week one. I don't think this is your traditional East Carolina team. We've seen ECU be ranked before. We've seen ECU be a competitive football team. I think it's the start of a long rebuild for the Pirates of East Carolina. I think Michigan, with dual running backs, Heisman Trophy candidate at quarterback, and J.J. McCarthy, I think it may only be 37, but I think they covered the 36. So give me Arkansas State, Boise State, and Michigan on my pick 3.
I am fascinated with Harbaugh not there. You know, you've kind of got to give the order. Look, you guys, you call the game, you have fun, but JJ is a guy that can't get hurt. Blake can't get re-aggravated from the injury last year. So how deep do those players play?
I think Michigan, in my opinion, Michigan will be up 35 at the half.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, at the half.
Yeah. Will you watch that on Peacock? You said you were going to just to see a little bit of Michigan, and now that you're playing
I will watch a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I'll have to look in the back of my sheet to get an official conversation about that, Brandon, let you know. But I was looking for a third good game in that window.
It's in the early window, yeah.
I mean, I'll obviously have Colorado, TCU, Virginia, Tennessee.
Yeah, Ball State, Kentucky's one I'm going to watch just to see Kentucky's offense. I just want to see if Devin Leary is what we think he's going to be.
I probably will use the ability that I have on my YouTube TV to quad box Virginia, Tennessee.
I do like that new feature, by the way.
Do you?
That's a great.
I got to figure out how to do that.
I think I'm going to quad box Virginia, Tennessee, Arkansas State, Oklahoma, Ball State, and Kentucky, and probably La Tech, SMU, and throw that on one TV, and then Colorado TCU will be on my main TV. Buffalo Wild Wings brings us to pick 3 before we get too far away for that.
Yeah, our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings want to remind you it is a great game day atmosphere. Remember, 10 locations in the Birmingham Central Alabama area. They've got brand new remodeled locations all over the place. They've got takeout available through that Buffalo Wild Wings app.
All right. Again, Champy's Chicken this hour right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster as well. Go ahead.
I can't imagine how pissed off I would be. We're Spectrum cable up here, or whatever it is, streaming. And we don't get ESPN and SEC Network up here, but I'm watching games at my house. I'm not watching them up here. And if you're a Spectrum customer, I can't tell you how pissed off I would be right now.
Did this come with no warning?
I had seen a commercial on one of our TVs, and I just didn't take note of it, but I saw a commercial that they started to run Spectrum like, hey, we're in a dispute. You know, you could lose services, call this number. And I'm like, yeah, you see those all the time.
That's right.
But, and I don't know that you'll ever know if this was ESPN's call or Spectrum's call to pull their service right at kickoff last night. But whoever did it, that is a complete and total horseshit move to people that are good, hardworking people that pay their money for your service.
Southerners a lot who love college football.
And pardon my French for saying that, but that is just crap, man. These are people that work hard. Their money doesn't go forever like Spectrum's does or Disney's does. They're a lot of times just trying to make ends meet, and they just want to come home after a crap day of work and sit down and watch football. And you do that to them?
Yep.
That sucks, man.
It's pathetic.
Yep.
It is pathetic.
Well said.
Here's what it said. The Walt Disney Company, owner of this channel, has removed their programming from Spectrum, which creates hardship for our customers. We apologize for the inconvenience and are continuing to negotiate in good faith in order to reach a fair agreement.
Yeah, but I mean,
they're saying Disney pulled it.
Oh, of course they are.
Yeah,
I'm sure Disney says Spectrum was the one that caused it, but to do it right at kickoff for both of them, they ought to be ashamed. Both Disney and Spectrum should be completely ashamed of themselves to treat your hardworking, paying customers that way. Absolutely, positively sucks. They don't have any respect for you. You can't help but watch ESPN because that's where your teams play, all right? You have no other choice but to watch ESPN. But Spectrum is just as guilty as ESPN in this. Today, you should be on the phone telling Spectrum, I am absolutely done. It's a month-to-month contract. Be done with it. You can get ESPN somewhere else.
All right. Quick break coming up.
All
Trash
right.
coming
I
up.
was done.
Want you to see our social media queen. You don't think she loves football? Only one of us showed up in her jersey today. Bo Jackson. F.
Hey, so if
assume that's Bo
UMass
Jackson's
pulls
number.
the upset, how upset will you be?
Oh, no. We're working Monday.
We are working Monday, Taylor. And there will be a Monday morning live to react to whether Dion brought Louis to Fort Worth or not with Tom Luganville. So 7 to 8 Central, live, Monday morning live, and then the normal show Monday on Labor Day. So even on your day off, set the alerts. When we come back, we'll do Trash Today, the show being brought to you in part by our friends right there at Alabama Power, LT. We're going to shoot a little something for Alabama Power afterwards today.
We sure are, Dunaway. If you'll give me 1 sec.
No problem. Alabama Power has been with us since the start of this. We send out a little video every week, sort of getting ready for the weekend, college football, recap some stuff, thanks to our friends at Alabama Power.
Yeah, and we'll be sending that video out, a little preview for the college football weekend. Alabama Power is making it easier than ever for you to manage your payment with digital wallet. You have the option to pay with any of these convenient methods: Amazon Pay, Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, and Venmo. It's easy, secure, reliable. All you need to do is have an online account. Visit alabamapower.com/myaccount. Get started today.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you: Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It's college football time in Alabama. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. I grew up an Alabama fan, Roll Tide, but my wife, Caroline, grew up an Auburn fan, War Eagle. But no matter who you pull for, whether it's the Lions of the University of North Alabama or the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State or any other school in between, I want to wish all the players, the coaches, and especially the fans another great college football season here in Alabama. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice. Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Birmingham store. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have a perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Our job is to make sure your feet are happy. Visit the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Your feet will thank you.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel, where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
All right, trash time here on the show. It's brought to you by Mortgage Right. Rockstar, are you ready to hit the big button? Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do it.
Vision Cable. Hi, watch me beat Peter McNeely on Vision Cable Vision.
Next round what?
Okay, now Comcast Cable. Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Watch me beat Peter McNeely on Comcast Cable Vision.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, buying a home, major milestone in life. Getting it right comes down to the right advice at the right time. That's why we're proud to partner with our friends at Mortgage Right. They do mortgages the right way. Locations in Birmingham on Highway 280, Parkway Drive in Leeds. For more information, 205-815-9200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. We start first. A man in Nebraska pulled over for driving down a highway in a compact car with a massive Watsui bull sitting in the passenger seat.
The old Watsui bull?
Yep. Wednesday, a man was reported driving eastbound on Highway 275 with a cow riding shotgun.
It's alive? It's not like stuffed?
Oh, it can't be alive.
That can't be alive.
It's alive.
That's a live. That's not a live bull.
That's what it says.
That creature, can it move with that big of horns?
What's he got him locked in somehow?
Oh, he's got a guardrail.
Dude, that thing gets out and falls.
It's game over.
Destroys a car.
Yeah.
Are you saying my man's not cautious?
Dude, how big is the rack on that thing?
No, that's what I'm saying. So much so Dr. B's blushing.
Quote, they thought it was going to be a calf, something small or something that would actually fit inside of the vehicle, according to Captain Chad Riemann. He told News Channel Nebraska Northeast. Photos that you see right there show the immense black and white bull named Howdy Doody, casually riding in the small modified car with its hulking shoulders, head, and monster
Can I show you
horns.
something to show you that it's alive? I want you to look at the rear of the car right here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's alive.
Did it
almost
shit
alive.
through the window? The
Yeah.
window's cracked.
Yeah.
No, LT, it's slightly modified car, or better known as cut in half.
Slightly modified. And according to the bull's actions there, they almost had a wreck a couple times because he is going down the back tire.
How much to drive that car?
Very little.
That dude's like pushed over against the window.
You would be too with that urine splashing from the back seat.
Now,
Because if
Pat-
he's pooping out the back, you know where the urine's going.
Sign on the railing read Nebraska's big rodeo parade, best car entry. As a result, the officers performed traffic stop, addressed some traffic violations that were occurring with a particular situation. Police identified the driver of the vehicle as Lee Meyer. The officer wrote him some warnings. There were some citable issues with that situation. The officer chose to write him a warning and ask him to take the animal back home and leave the city. I would have given his ass a ticket.
Take the animal home and leave this city.
Get on out of here.
Don't
boy.
you ever come back here, boy.
Taco Bell today announced it's teaming up with Mountain Dew for the release of a new Mountain Dew Baja Blast Gelato.
I saw this.
At one restaurant in Southern California for 2 weeks starting yesterday. Now, representing the first ever gelato to hit a Taco Bell menu, the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Gelato test celebrates the iconic Baja Blast tropical lime flavor throughout the creamy treat and is available for $2.99 in a 3.6-ounce to-go container. You can find Mountain Dew Baja Blast Gelato at the Taco Bell in Irvine, California for a period of 2 weeks.
Well, that's a long drive. I don't know if I want to go.
I wonder if our boy Brett from New Mexico will get by there.
Irvine for a Baja Blast. I don't. Have you had the Baja Blast?
I've had a Baja Blast before.
Yeah,
but I mean it's a generational thing. It's like the
kids do like it. Yeah,
the Gen Zs, Gen X, whatever it is.
They're Orange Julius.
Yeah, they love the Baja Blast.
Yeah.
So how about this? If there's two country music stars who could put away 52 cases of beer with their crew, it's probably Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard. Now, in a show review from the LA Times in 1980, columnist Robert Hilburn covered a 6-hour county fall festival at Anaheim Stadium that featured Merle and Willie as the headliners. Now, this is the Big A, where Rams used to play.
That's right.
I actually saw the last Rams game ever against the Bears, Jerome Bettis' rookie season in the Big A. I was there live.
Merle looks drunk.
Now,
just wait.
They say it was held at the Big A, and in order to avoid damage to the field for football on Sunday, the crowd was only allowed in the stands, but the fans still came to party, along with the rest of the artists, which included performances by Alabama and Emmylou Harris.
Oh, wow.
That's a pretty good concert.
Emmylou Harris in Alabama opened?
Yeah.
I would love to time machine back. I'm not a country music guy, but I would love to be in the stands for this.
It's a good show.
Now, at one point, a worker at the concession stands was in awe of how much beer they had gone through before the show had even started. He said he'd never seen anything like it. He went on to say, I've never seen anything like it. These people are drinking more beer than the Rams crowd. We've gone through 52 cases already. By the way, this was the post-Rams Super Bowl. So they had just played in the Super Bowl.
So this is the crowd that's drinking and not just Willie and Merle?
This is the backstage stuff.
Okay.
They said
it's backstage stuff.
Crew and everything, band and crew.
We've gone through 52 cases already. If that doesn't sound like a whole lot of beer for 30,000 people, it's because they were referring to the backstage crew alone.
Oh, are you kidding me?
He said, I'm not talking about the crowd, just backstage. If we do a little quick math, that's over 1,200 beers between Merle, Willie, perhaps Emmylou, and Alabama, as well as their bands and crews.
Well, I bet Alabama drank a few.
Concert hasn't even started. That's my kind of crew back there.
Tennessee River.
Do you like Poncho and Lefty growing up? Do you like that song?
That's good too.
Yeah, that's a good tune.
That's when I was on AM 1500 in Alabaster when that song was out. I'd play it every
I
morning.
like it how he wore his gun on the outside of his pants for all the honest world to feel.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Poncho was a bandit boy, horse as fast as polished steel.
Okay.
Seven Spanish Angels too. I like that one.
That's Willie and Ray Charles. Yeah, that's a good song though. They're a lot alike.
Spanish Angels.
I think Merle is stoned there, right?
Called
well, there's a chance.
Yeah.
Contact high with Willie.
Yeah.
Smokey and the Bandit in him right there.
No, I was about to say he does have a little.
No, he's got
Burt
Reynolds.
Reynolds in
He's
him,
got
yeah.
Jerry Reed in him too with the vest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a combo right there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You think Merle had somebody backstage that night?
Chances are.
Probably already had. That's why he's got a smile on his face.
Okay, here are words from other languages that have no English equivalent. Rockstar, you're going to have to pronounce
That's
these.
why I think these are so fun. Is just the attempt. You can give it to Brown and Dunaway if you want.
Okay, I'll try.
them to help to pronounce it.
Do you have it on a screen? No,
I don't.
I would go Verschlimbersen.
Verschlimbersen? That sounds German.
It is German.
Let me try that. Verschlimbersen.
That's it. I think Jim's got it.
Person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you,
was.
Mr. Dunaway.
I did a decent job with
Yeah,
it
you
because
did.
you drilled
Yeah.
it was German. It's to make something worse by trying to make it better.
Have we tried to piss on it yet?
That's the old great turn it on, turn it off.
Sundoko.
Sundelko.
Sundoko.
That sounds, it got an Asian flair to it. I'm going to say that is Japanese.
It is Japanese.
I was going to say Japanese too. I think that is where we need to broaden our thinking and perspectives to put a little sun on it.
It's the exact opposite. Acquiring books and letting them pile up without reading them.
Oh wow, just the opposite. Don't put any more light on this.
Kabbalasat.
Yeah.
Kabbalasat.
That sounds Arabic to me.
Boy, I don't know. That's a tough one right there. I'm going to say Turkish.
It's German. When
all of you say that, but I thought we'd already had a
cables tangle up on their own.
It's like when you put your headphones in your pocket for a second.
100%.
Yeah.
When they
we
used to
get
be wired.
We get that a lot on remote shows when I'm packing up and Brown's talking to the crowd.
Sujajiri.
That also sounds Asian. I'm going to say that is Japanese.
It is Japanese. Term for trying out your newly acquired sword by decapitating a random passerby.
Yeah,
It's very specific.
I hate to do
Very
that,
specific.
but how are you going to try out a new sword?
Sorry for your loss.
Yes.
Let's go with Scunner.
Yeah, we can try that.
Scunner.
Scunner. I don't know the origin.
I think that's back to German.
Scunner is Scottish.
Scottish.
An expression of distaste or unhappy dislike. You feel scunnered if you put on your sock and there was a slug in it.
I think it'd be more than scunnered.
Yeah. Well, I'd be upset.
I think it's when Rockstar wears his kilt without underwear on it, and he bends over to pick something up.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to wear underwear, don't
And finally, Shinopsity.
Shinopsity.
Yes, it's what I used to drink in college.
Take two Shinopsities.
You probably did drink Snops.
I mean, I did.
You're giggly. I drank a cup of Pete Snobs.
Oh, I love the peach snobs.
A cup of.
Sorry, not all of us was a professional like you.
What does that mean, by the way?
It's German. It's an idea that only sounds good after consuming a lot of alcohol. Finally, we've got some things that were actually named after people. Rockstar has got these.
Bogart is to act like Humphrey Bogart, to be pushy and refuse to share something or intimidate someone.
I knew this. It was back when I did smoke the Willie Nelson
the ganja
refreshment. People would Bogart the blunt.
Yeah.
Boulderize.
Boulderize from Thomas Boulder, who in the 1800s edited Shakespeare's plays to make them suitable for families.
Oh, wow. He was PG back then.
Yeah, he removed the offensive language, sanitized them, he says, beyond
What about all the death and suicide and murder and incest?
We got to have something in there, Rockstar. The old boycott from 1880 was a video that described what happened once Charles Cunningham Boycott. Boy, what a terrible last name now. He treated the farmers who rented land from him. The people in his town refused to have anything to do with him. The old boycott.
He looks like a dick.
He really does.
Boycott.
Chauvinism is a term that comes from Nicolas Chauvin, as a French soldier who was a big fan of Napoleon. Big fan. Nowadays, it's used to describe someone that's overly patriotic and thinks they're better than people. Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, what was the...
It does look like Vandy. It's like we're doing Leonard's Losers on television.
What was the category the other night at trivia? Women...
Things
women know.
Yeah.
Things women know.
Yeah.
And it was sewing, ironing,
I know. It
cooking.
was so offensive. I cannot believe people said that.
This is what Greg Sankey does to me.
He mesmerizes Dunaway. This is an 18th century Austrian physicist, Franz Mesmer. Thought if your magnetic forces were balanced, you'd be in good health. So he found a treatment that seemed to help his patients. They go into a trance-like state and come out feeling better. You're mesmerized.
I'm mesmerized by Greg Sankey when he's talking.
That's the final one.
Robert Wyatt, his 1991 song, how do you say that?
Dondestan?
Has become so popular
Dondestan.
that it spawned the verb to Wyatt, which is used to describe the act of choosing an obscure and annoying song from a jukebox in an attention grab base.
Yeah. So popular that I've never heard of it. You?
I've never heard of Wyatting.
Just learned it, yeah.
You know how many jukeboxes?
I don't go to many jukeboxes these days, except for Waffle House.
Yeah, there is one in Waffle House. And it was playing the last time me and Dunaway went to the one next to Floribama. Boy, it was playing loud, too.
Yep.
Early in the morning.
Appreciate you sharing your hash browns that morning.
Crimson and Clover was playing. Do you remember that?
I do.
Crimson and Clover.
I hate that song.
Could be the headline tomorrow. We'll do our Monday headlines when we come back. That is Trash, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, are you a veteran looking for a VA loan? Mortgage Right has been advocating for veterans since their company began. As a veteran-owned, operated company committed to your well-being, they can help you find the best terms available and guide you through every step of the process. Visit their locations, Highway 280 in Birmingham, Parkway Drive in Leeds. You can apply at mortgageright.com/TNR. Call 205-815-9200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
DryTech Water Restoration is a locally owned company that specializes in mold remediation, fire and water damage cleanup, and SteraMist services. DryTech's goal is to provide clients with expert guidance when dealing with any home disaster. DryTech's highly trained specialists are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They will work closely with you and your insurance company to make sure the process is stress-free as possible. Call DryTech today, 205-637-0143. The moment you discover damage to your home, DryTech's team will handle the rest. Hey, Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to The Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. NextRound.store. That's NextRound.store.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
All right, final segment is Monday's Headlines Today, brought to you in part today by our friends at Legacy. Last night, UAB got off to a win. Trent Dilfer's first game as a college head coach, 35-6 over North Carolina A&T. Jacob Zeno, 38 pass completions, one of the best American Conference performances ever by an individual, and it was just UAB's first game in the American. With that in mind, here's our buddy, Trent Dilfer.
Smart investments are like recruiting the right players. They can lead to long-term success and financial growth.
That's right. Our friends at Legacy brings you Trent Dilfer every week. When you invest your hard-earned dollars in a local credit union, you're directly impacting the growth and success within your own community. No matter what season of life you're in, Legacy Credit Union can help you make the most of your money. Savings, high-rate CDs, checking that earns interest, and more. Look no further than Legacy. Open your account in minutes at LegacyCreditUnion.com, LegacyCreditUnion.com. Legacy, the official credit union of UAB, and is a proud supporter of UAB football, federally insured by the NCUA. Great start for him last night. Great start for Utah without their starting quarterback. And not a good start for Florida in the SEC. Action tonight includes Louisville and Georgia Tech, and we play football all the way through Monday. A reminder, Monday we are live, not only for Monday Morning Live with Tom Luganbill on all of these platforms, but also for the Next Round 9 to 12. Today, new content is up for you at Roll Tide Pods, the very first episode of Talk of Champions with Tyler Watts. We sit down and talk about the Alabama roster, what he has seen leading into the big game against Middle Tennessee. You can subscribe to Roll Tide Pods on YouTube right now and enable those notifications so that you never miss any of the Crimson Tide content, including Bama and Bourbon with LT and Aaron Suttles all season long, and that'll lead into basketball season as well. Also, it's a perfect time for high school football in the state. John Lunsford, Jerry Young recap Week 0 and look at Week 1 matchups, the best duo in high school sports. Host the Next Round Prep Show right there, the Next Round channel every week. Remember that you can listen to the podcast in your car while you're driving to the stadium tonight on all of those, wherever you get your video and audio platforms. Finally today, it is time for our Monday Headlines Today. LT, start us off with yours. What do you have?
I'm going to go to the Laramie Boomerang.
Is that what they call it? Oh,
Yeah.
That's the newspaper.
That's their daily newspaper.
Yeah.
Their daily rag.
Yeah, the old fish wrap.
Tyler shocked on Brokeback Mountain. Cowboys pull the shocker on Texas Tech.
That's a tough move. That's a good move, though.
Going to be very, very painful loss for Texas
Painful
Tech.
loss.
It will be, actually.
For Tyler
though.
Shock.
It will be,
So you think they might be looking ahead to Oregon? You like
Yeah,
Wyoming
possibly
there?
so. And,
Yeah.
hey, look, altitude game.
It
Craig
is
Bowl,
an
good
altitude
coach.
game. Yeah, it is an altitude game.
I'll go next, Brownie.
All right, Jim.
I'm going to go to the Herald Times in Bloomington, Indiana. It's Ohio State's in town this weekend. The question will be simple. Who's your daddy? It's Marvin Harrison. That's who it is. Ohio State, 66-3 over Indiana. Beat down coming from Ohio State.
I can see that.
Big beat down coming. Indiana, bad. Who's your daddy? Marvin Harrison is.
Ooh. It's a big 66-3. That's going to suck for CBS.
You
All right.
go, who's your daddy?
Oh, you go first. I'll go first, Rockstar. Yours is going to be better than mine, of course.
No, it's not. It's going to be a little. Okay.
Okay. It's a little off color. Mine is going to be from the Charlotte Observer. We've got a problem. Heads Carolina, tails also Carolina. Celebrity coin toss causes chaos and controversy. We're going to have Jody Messina doing the coin toss.
Is that who that is?
That's Jody Messina right there. She's going to be doing the coin toss, which turns out to be a bad idea. Heads
that
Carolina.
was Steven Tyler.
Tails Carolina. Celebrity coin toss going to cause controversy and chaos. We're not going to know who's got the ball first, unfortunately, because they asked Joe DiMessina to do it for the game.
That is controversial.
Hey, I like the other Birmingham man's Taylor Swift tattoo inspires social media craze among single women.
Right. They've lost their minds.
I'm here for the women.
Yes, yeah. So how about the other one? Florida fans flood Spectrum Cable with thank you notes for the Thursday night ESPN blackout.
You did not have to watch that.
Didn't have to watch that crap.
Yeah, I wish I was on Spectrum last night. I didn't have to see the SEC embarrassed by a Pac-12 school.
It happened.
For a conference that won't even be in existence next year.
Yeah, they're dead, man.
Rockstar has one before we start to wrap things up today. Rocky, what is yours?
Mine comes from the El Paso, the Paso.
The El Paso El Paper.
Incarnate Word busted with minors.
Oh, no.
Yeah, UTEP's going to beat their ass.
Are they? You serve time for that, I've heard.
Incarnate Word busted with minors.
Yes. El Paso El Paper.
El Paso.
That's mine.
Incarnate Word busted with minors. Have you seen what's your movie, LT?
That's so good. Which one?
You know, the one you talked about all summer long. The one that was meaningful. We should all go see.
Oh, Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you hadn't seen it.
I haven't yet. No, it's important.
Saturday's all day tomorrow.
That's right, Jim. We got plenty of time.
In between
Make light of child trafficking.
I'm not.
There you go.
I'm not making light.
Sorry, Rockstar.
I thought you would give us the Sound of Freedom
The guy
comment
with-
on
the guy with the
Incarnate Word
Brokeback
found with
Mountain
minors.
headline.
Brokeback Mountain headline.
Yeah.
Hey, those guys were consenting adults.
And not at first they weren't. They kind of butted heads for a little bit.
That is correct. I forget about this. NH3425 says Zach Calzadas plays for Incarnate Word. Doesn't say he's the quarterback.
No, it just plays. I mean, Joey Gatewood's a tight end now. So
we need to tight our quarterbacks that were going to be the next big thing. I mean, can you even find them? JT Daniels at Rice.
Yep.
Haynes King at Georgia Tech, which is not bad.
No, I mean, I'm interested to see what he does tonight against Louisville.
But that surprised you a little bit. It did me anyway when Furman brought up, I think Haynes King will look really good in a Georgia Tech uniform tonight. It's like, oh, that's right. Haynes King's at Georgia Tech.
Man, it is. That's tough to keep up with.
Well, here, and this happened, Gus did it a couple of times last night. The transfer from Cal. I mean, once you're at a new school, I don't need to know where you came from.
Yeah, I noticed that last year. I brought that up, I think, to my dad last year, watching Saturday football and them talking about where a kid transferred from. And I'm like, college football is just populated by transfers. I don't think we need to know that anymore.
Yeah, it's almost the NFL. Like, free agent coming over from Buffalo. Okay.
Now, I will say this. I think I don't think there are any Alabama fans upset that Damian George transferred to Florida. He did not have his best game last night.
How many penalties did he get before the first commercial break?
I know. I mean, that jump off sides early on. I mean, Florida actually, they come out their first two plays, they've got it down to a 3rd and 1, and then you immediately jump off sides. And
so 2 receivers to watch out, former Alabama receivers that people thought were going to be really good. JoJo Earl for TCU, Trayshawn Holden at Oregon. Which one of those guys has a bigger game?
I'm going to go Trayshawn Holden has the bigger game at Oregon. And at Oregon, I mean, we forget that coming back with Bo Nix is Irving and Whittingham, his backfield intact, and his best receiver in Troy Franklin. So that'll take a little heat off of Trayshawn as well, that Franklin is back on the other side for Oregon. Frees up a lot of real estate there. If you got a good running game, you got Bo who can run it. You've got your top receiver from last year back. So Holden, I think, will have the bigger game.
It'd be a fun stake bet. I'll take JoJo just for the hell of it.
You'll take JoJo Earl?
We'll just go more total yards.
More total. Well, is JoJo getting kick returns?
I swear to God, I have no idea.
So let's just do receiving and rushing yards. No total yards. No punt return, kick return, and special teams. So receiving and rush yards.
Yep.
Okay, I'll take Holden. I mean, I have done no research on
I haven't either.
So, I mean, one of them could be hurt. Would you have a problem if JoJo's hurt?
Like if one doesn't play,
if one doesn't play, we'll wash the bet.
Yeah, you should watch the bet.
All right. If both play, it's Holden and JoJo for a stake bet there. All of our stake bets brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. Get a chance to tell you about New York Butcher before we get out of here today.
Yeah, rare quality, well-done service. 2 great locations. Go see Jim and all the guys there. The original location at Cava Heights, right down the street from us. There's one in Greystone on Highway 119. Steaks, chicken, great sides, fantastic selection of desserts and fine wines. New York Butcher Shop, again, well-done quality. or well done service, rare quality well done service.
Okay, last minute or so of the show, we'll get a chance to talk about Clemson and Duke on Monday, live show on Monday. Remember, go to the Pick 3 banner right there at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com before midnight tonight. Go play your Pick 3 games. Get those in. But give us a quick final thought. Last chance you have to talk about LSU, Florida State. Tell us about LSU and Florida State. Where are you leaning in this one?
I really wish Mason. John Emery's not going to be that big of a loss. Again, your leading rusher last year was Jaden Daniels, but I do think Mason Smith is going to be a big loss. I said LSU would win this game by double digits. I still think LSU is going to win this game. Mike Norvell versus Brian Kelly, that will be the difference.
Did Furman change it for you?
No, I mean, boy, he was big on Florida State, though, wasn't he? I mean, it does make me wonder.
Possibly double digits.
I uncovered the truth, though. He was a Florida State fan growing up.
You're a Rams fan growing up, but you like getting your picks, right?
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, thank you guys so much. I know we've thrown a lot at you over the last 12 days, but you guys have been amazing supporting us and going to watch all the content we're kicking out. We're trying to give you as much as we possibly can. That includes 2 shows tomorrow as well. Remember, 9 a.m. Central Time is our kickoff show. So 9 a.m. Central on our video platform only. No audio for this. This is from our homes on our YouTube channel and wherever you watch us on the video platform. That is happening 9 a.m. Central Saturday morning. And then we'll do a post-game show after either the Alabama game or the Battle of the Carolinas. And that'll be it tomorrow. We look forward to football season with you all year long. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.